It's the perfect nuke, a general's dream, and the world's nightmare.
Yes. Hello, chat. How are you? Welcome in. It's Monday. Today is possibly the biggest day of days where days are happening. Where so many days are happening in one day. You know what I'm referring to. So much so that I'm still kind of just organizing my my tabs here, chat. So just bear with me a second. How are we all doing? It's good to see you all. We've got here. We got Steph. We got Vord. We got Middle Earth Marxist. We got Johnny. We got 10 Tiny Kittens. We have got Beanie Gaby. How are you all doing? More and more people. Many more people coming in now at the start of the stream. It's better. It's much better now. Things are getting better. Many more people are saying this. How are we doing? What's going on? Welcome in. How's your weekend been? I imagine many of you were probably locked in to the just unfolding hell world. I know that I saw Middle Earth Marxist in the Red Planet chat last night. Be cool, Theo. I'd prefer not to be acknowledged. Shit, you got me. Fuck. Well, that's game over for me now, isn't it? I continue to be alive. Yeah, I know. I know how you feel. Hey, listen, if you just want to type in the chat and you need me to ignore you, Theo, that's fine. Streamer banished for crimes. Many people are saying this. More and more people are saying that I should be banished for crimes. I had a bit of interesting news on Friday. So it turns out that I've got something called fatty liver, which can mess you up a little bit and is probably responsible for not all, but some of my fatigue over the last year or two, you know? So that's been interesting. I didn't really, I guess, get any proper information from the doctor because I missed this call on the Friday morning, but I had a look on my online patient thing and it was like, diagnosis, fatty liver. I was like, oh, okay, sound. I mean, it makes sense. I started getting these pains in my abdomen, basically exactly where my liver is, around last year when I got a job and I started, like, drinking alcohol regularly. That's basically it. So there you go. That's how that happened. Oh, why am I even reporting on that? I'm not bothered about that at all. Sorry, I'm just going through these tabs still, chat. Just bear with me. So that was interesting news. It kind of set me back a little bit today, because that's when I went online and looked at all the stuff, because I phoned the doctors and I was like, okay, he's going to have to phone me at like not 7 in the morning, because I just don't get up at 7 in the morning at the minute at all. So that's that. So that sent me a little bit under. It's kind of one of the reasons that I'm late, because I was like, oh, that's good that I know what it is, but it's bad. It's like any diagnosis, right? It's like, oh, I've been unwell for like a long time. What's that about? Oh, well, there you go. That's what it is. So I got to change my diet. That's basically what it is. And I don't really drink alcohol at the minute at all. Oh my God, why is my encoding so overloaded? Hang on. I think it's just because I'm going through these tabs. I think that's all it is. Okay. Ice raids, ice raids, ice raids. Ice raids. Yep. That's what this is. Some brain rot. What else do we got here? More Palestine stuff. It's going to be mostly freedom, Gaza Freedom Flotilla in the LA riots tonight. Obviously updates on Palestine, but the main update really is that Netanyahu basically admitted to funding ISIS, which is, oh yeah. We knew it. We knew it. We knew it, chat. We knew it was happening. Hamas are just like ISIS. Wow, crazy that you're funding ISIS then. Crazy that you're funding ISIS then, bro. I don't know, if you don't like ISIS, why are you giving them money? I don't get it. Like, what's up with that, bro? So there you go. What else? I am going to see Nine Inch Nails next week. That's right. That is correct. I'm very much looking forward to it. What is this? Okay, that's another bit of that. Very cool. Very cool. Send me a DM, TTK. Send me a DM, send me a DM. Or a text. I think you got my number. I can't remember. Never seen them. Oh, they're really, really good live. Really, really, really good live. Highly recommend. Okay, I'm nearly done organizing these tabs. Nearly done. This is the content that you come for, chat, you know? This is the content that you come for. Alright, okay, let me try and organize this. So that's that. So this is more towards the middle. This is more towards the middle. Yeah, that's more towards the end. God. I'm just going through some of this and it's just absolutely fucked, some of this stuff, honestly. I don't know how many of you were paying attention to the Gaza Flotilla thing. But I was basically live tweeting it last night, essentially. What do we got here? We got that, we got that, we got that. We got some PAL action stuff, which is cool. We got some declassified stuff. UK complicity, etc, etc. Yeah. It's more towards the middle. Is that the same? Have I already got that one? There's a fest called Future Ruins in LA later this year, and the lineup is bananas. I don't know if anything's going to be happening in LA this year. I don't know if anything is going to happen in LA ever again. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm sure things will just be business as usual at some point. Well, yeah, if you go into... It's called Future Ruins. They're already ready. That's right. All right. Let me see if this is all organized properly. Yeah, I want to talk about the airstrike a little later. Interception of the Madeleine. Yeah. Zara Sultana talking about it. Okay, all right. We're pretty much ready to go, to be honest. That's going to be that. Okay, I got another thing to shout out. I got another thing to tell you all about. If you've not already, folks, please consider. Please consider. Does this work? Is this working? There you go. I got the go live tweet. I got the go live blue sky post. Please consider reposting them. And please also consider going to the link tree and checking out my new video, because it is performing badly. It is performing badly, and I need your help. You know, it's not great when a video on the main channel performs just as well as a video that I uploaded and then deleted and then re-uploaded, because the algorithm hates that shit. And so whatever I've done here, I don't know, I've upset all my subscribers or something. I don't know. I've upset YouTube, and the new video is just not doing that well. So please consider going and checking it out. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I mean, it's got 500 views now. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. It could be much worse, to be fair. But I lost, like, subscribers over this video. And I'm like, why? Why did this upset everyone so much? I was trying to get back into posting regular content again, and I was like, you know what? I should make a video about Donald Trump and Musk falling out, and I think it's funny. There's a lot of Elon drama slap out there. That's true. That is very true. But you know, this is the thing. That's why I thought it would be a killer algo thing. Anyway, there's the video. Go check it out. Give it a like. Give it a comment. All that stuff. I'm not too hung up about it. I'll just make some better content. It's fine. Let me just make a little pin post. So pin new main channel video. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe. And share. There you go. That should work. All right. That's all the promo out of the way. That's all the stuff out of the way. What else was I gonna say? So there's that there. There's that there. And I think that is everything that I need to do. Yes. Yes. Okay, what else can I talk about? I don't know. All I've been doing really this weekend is working on my video. That's why I didn't stream on Friday, by the way. Apologies that I didn't stream on Friday, but you know the score, chat. Needs must. That was that. I don't think if there's anything else. Not really. I've just been completely locked in to the socials. SMH my head indeed. You know? I think that we could crack on and get on with the news in a minute. There's obviously so much to go through. I'm just checking some extra stuff that... Oh, yeah. Okay. I wanna include this. Hang on. Absolutely want to include this in the brain rot because that's going to be a crazy read. Unpin. Got some more ice stuff. All right. And some more protest stuff. All right. I'm just going to go and quickly heat up my cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Right, here we go. Oh. Let's lock in, chat. Let's lock the fuck in. All right. So, first up, what do we got? Let's start with the Gaza Freedom Flotilla, because this has just been absolutely wild. So the Gaza Freedom Flotilla was a boat called the Madeleine that had a bunch of different activists on there, most notably Greta Thunberg from Sweden. Everybody knows Greta Thunberg. Also Rima Hassan from the she's a French member of European Parliament. There was also a bunch of other activists on there from all over the world, loads of different countries, an activist from Brazil, an activist from somewhere else, Sweden, Poland, and Turkey. I can't remember all the other places, but essentially it was a big group of activists whose only aim was to break the siege on Gaza by delivering aid, so baby formula, flour, all the things that people in Gaza currently need. Ireland, someone from Ireland as well. I didn't know there was. I thought is that Liam Cunningham, but he didn't actually go on the ship. He was just promoting it. The guy from Game of Thrones, or he went on it like a certain way or whatever. But yeah, there could easily be another person from Ireland on there. But yeah, activists from all over, and the ship had the detail or whatever you call it of the UK. So it was essentially UK territory. That's what happens essentially when you have a boat demarked with the flag of a certain country that's been agreed by that certain country to have that. It means that that's the territory when it's in international waters. So if it's in international waters, so not waters that are controlled by a particular state, that's actually what it counts as, if that makes sense, right? Because it's technically land in everyone's bizarre idea of states and land and how it works. A thing that you stand on, whereas the water is not. Anyway, whatever. You know what I'm saying. That's legally where it stands. So this set off and stopped at various different places in the Mediterranean until it made its last stop, which I think was either in Turkey or in Cyprus, and then made its way to the Gaza Strip. From there, they were being monitored by drones as early as Turkey, being around the area of Turkey. So I don't really know the mileage or how far it is, but not even close to the Gaza Strip, and they were getting monitored by drones. Some people have speculated that these are just drones from the country that they were the closest to, so it would be Turkey in that regard. Israel has never cared about legality, exactly, so it doesn't even matter, but it's important nonetheless. Anyway, so that's what they've done. That's sort of their story up until about Sunday daytime. It obviously takes a long time to sail anywhere, but up until about Sunday daytime, that's where they were. So Sunday daytime, that's when the entire movement who was watching the flotilla started to really boost and signal boost everything that was happening, because the Madeleine is obviously entering the danger zone. As soon as it goes towards Gaza, the danger zone, that's exactly where Israel and the Zionist entity will intercept it, attack them. We all know, exactly like TTK's just said in the chat, Israel doesn't give a shit about legality. I genuinely thought they were going to kill Greta Thunberg. I was like, it's going to happen. They're going to kill Greta Thunberg. Because the Zionist entity is just in freefall. It's going to do whatever it wants. It's just insane at this point. You know, every single time you look at a tweet, and we'll show an example of of this in a bit. Every single time you look at a tweet that's in Hebrew from like an Israeli official or just like a standard Zio supporter, it's like discovering a new page of Mein Kampf. Let's see if I can find this. Where is it? It was from Mikey. My mate Mikey. From Manny. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Zionism, Palestine action. Where did this tweet go? Have I lost this? Election, Matt Canard, Declassified UK, Israel Foreign Ministry. Where is it? It will now do worse than killing them, as Israel always does. Yeah, 100%. Well, we'll get into that in a hot minute. It's good work and righteous work, and I've been so scared for everyone on board. Oh yeah, you wait until... I don't know if you've seen what happened, but... it's crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. What happened? Well, apparently I've not put that... That's crazy. Where did I put that fucking Mikey tweet? That's so annoying. Hang on a minute. Let's find it. That bloody Mikey. Oh, here we go. Mikey's just posting up a storm. A real storm. Where... You know what it'll be in? It'll be in... his, media. Here we go. Where's the tweet at? How do I get to the fucking tweet, actually? It kind of doesn't work if you just, like, see it like this. Oh, well, I guess it does. Anyway, here's an example of that. This is Hallel Bitten Rosen. This person is some kind of Israeli official from the Knesset, not a Scooby-Doo. Let's hit translate post. The security establishment is preparing to stop the anti-Semitic flotilla to Gaza. If they agree to retrace their steps, Israel will not prevent them. If not, they'll be arrested. If they pose a danger, they will be eliminated. So, threatening a group of activists who have documented everything that they have on the ship. It's all widely public knowledge. The entire world was watching them. Literally millions of people were tuned into the live streams on Telegram and stuff like that. All loads of different platforms. And they're just like, if they pose a danger, they'll be eliminated. What danger? What are you talking about? These are the actions of a crazy state. Norman Finkelstein said it ages ago. Israel is a crazy state. Just paranoid, always looking to kill, always looking to attack people. That is all they know. That's all they actually understand. Horrific. Absolutely horrific stuff. And as this person said down here, save this tweet for the War Crimes Commission. Yeah, officer, this tweet right here, actually. So anyway, there's that. That's what I was talking about. So anyway, of course, we had all the standard Zionists saying all the horrific things that they normally say about this. You've got this absolute scumbag. This Vivid person is one of the worst of them. Ever since I came back on Twitter, this person's account is just one of the worst. Anyone else want to see Greta handcuffed? It's just like such a normal thing to say. Like, why exactly do you want to see her handcuffed, dude? Think about the actual like thought process behind this. Like, what exactly is this person saying? Obviously, the way that the Zios are going to justify it is they're going to say things like, oh, well, she supports Hamas. Hamas are terrorists. Anyone who supports terrorists should be put in a prison, right? That's their thinking. But it's just like, when you look at the facts, it's like you've got a 22-year-old woman who is going to the largest open-air prison in the entire world where there is currently a genocide being taken place. The entire world knows that there is no aid getting in whatsoever, and when aid has been distributed by the Zionist entity, they've shot people, they've attacked them, they've murdered them, they've set them on fire. And that, her aim, and the rest of the activists' aim, to literally just get in there and give him some aid, give him baby formula, give him flour. And this loser is like, anyone want to see a handcuffed? So of course, as always, it's one of these situations. The right is barely disguised fetish, right? That's literally all it is. So some other responses from the Zionist entity have been even worse, just in general. This is a bunch of children. This is Elon Levy, by the way, disgraced Elon Levy, who was sacked by the Israel ambassador or like the Israel embassy in the UK. I can't remember, for like being too much of a blood-hungry, obvious saying the quiet part out loud psychopath. Yeah. So he's posted this video of, I guess, Israeli kids saying the children of Israel are coming to get Greta.
We're looking for Greta's vote. We have something to say to you all. Are you with me, guys? Yes! We're coming to get you. Woo! Children say the truth. Greta Thunberg, when you were a child, you wanted the good, not the evil. You wanted to protect the world. How come you suddenly became a supporter of terror? You talk about genocide. How can you not condemn the horrors of October 7th?
Right. What Israel has done, yeah, is it has gotten some of its children and dressed them in propaganda that says "I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael High," which is it's a repurposed, appropriated Hebrew term, which I don't originally think meant, oh, we deserve to live in this homeland and it's ours and stuff like this. But now that's what it means. Yeah. Dan Eck, possible ban evader, with an account created 29 minutes ago. Hasbara immediately in the chat. As soon as we start talking about this, these fucking losers searching for this shit all over Twitch. Says, Israel likely saved lives by capturing the depot and deporting them back to their native country. Well, they haven't been deported, so you're wrong about that. So go back to your Hasbara manager, yeah, and say, sir, you're giving me the wrong information. This guy on Twitch, actually, he knows more about this than me. He owned me in the marketplace of ideas. He found out that I was ban evading. We need to find a better way for, for these guys to not know actually how we operate, you know? Held in confinement till then. This guy's actually just like, no, I'm proving, no, I am the Hasbro. No, I know what's going on. Like, come on, man. We're not going to stand for your fascist shit in here. Like, that's just the end of it. See you later. Like, try again. I don't know. Get a better brain. Anyway. Cool stuff, right? Cool, fun stuff. Israel saved the lives. Shut up, man. I want to vomit. Disgusting what adults have done to these young humans. Yeah, true, Kitty's playing. Also, hi, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Val, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Words of this kid totally scripted themselves, yeah. So they've got these kids, they've draped them in propaganda, they've sent them out on this boat, and they've been like, we're coming for you. This is depraved, insane shit. This is not normal country stuff. This is not like a normal country. I mean, it's not a real country, let's face it. I mean, what is a real country? But in general terms, the majority of Israel is an illegal occupation as designated by humanitarian law, international law. So this is what's going on. It's giving me the vibes of that one video. Do you remember this, chat? Do you remember this shit? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is so messed up. Oh my god. Like, honestly, this happened a day or so after October 7th. It was like the first week. They got children to go on TV and saying things like, within a year we will eliminate them all and return to plow our fields. And only now the liberal mainstream media is pushing back against Zionist talking points. Like, come on. It's been here the entire time. Echoes of this garbage. Yeah? I bet these kids have 100% been taught climate change is a liberal hoax. Yeah, 1,000%. Without a shadow of a doubt.
If you want to provide food to the people of Gaza, I suggest you condemn Hamas. Because the truth is that Hamas is taking all the food from the people of Gaza, not Israel. And what about the hostages? Are you...
What was that?
Not Israel.
Why not Israel?
Because the truth is that Hamas is taking all the food from the people of Gaza, not Israel.
Oh, interesting that you felt compelled to include that in there. We're definitely not withholding food from the people of Gaza, everyone. We're definitely not. Definitely not. So, yeah, that's that. Absolutely absurd, sick
and what
stuff.
about the hostages? Are you going to give them any food?
Yeah.
I invite...
That's the point. You're stopping the hostages from getting food as well.
I invite you to meet me, and I will show you what the children of Israel are going through. I hope that you will wake up and understand that you're on the wrong side of history.
Whoa. What are the children of Israel going through exactly? What are they going through? Heyo to Joy, how you doing? Hamas humanitarian blockade, so dastardly. Yeah, it's so bad that Hamas are definitely doing that.
I will show you what the children of Israel are going through.
What are they going through? You're on a boat! You're on a boat! Sorry, I shouldn't be getting mad at the kid. I literally shouldn't be getting mad at the kid. This kid is... And you know what? Look what's happening. Look what's happening. I'm getting mad at this kid because Israel is using it as a human shield. It's using it as a human shield from my ire. My ire towards Israel is now being directed towards this child. They're using human shields, not even just for combat purposes, but for criticism purposes. They cannot stand criticism, so now they're getting children to do their criticism for them. That's wild that that's actually what's happening. I'm kind of making I'm making light of this a little bit, but that is actually what's happening. This is crazy that this is the real thing. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. Well, look, you know how I feel about the the pedophile nation of Israel. You know how I feel about that. I have a bit about that. Where is it? Is it? Wait, I could just get this because I sent it to my partner earlier. Wait, hang on. How do I save that? Yeah. Save it to the desktop. There you go. Yeah. There you go, chat. Just landed in Tel Aviv. Quality. Absolutely quality stuff. You know, the funny thing is, I can't remember where the original tweet is. Maybe we'll come across it in a little while. I can't remember where the actual tweet is that I found from this. That I found this from. But someone in the replies said, "This is such a lie. Israel doesn't have this." And like, if you're trying to do pro-Zionist Hasbara in saying this is a lie, Israel doesn't have this, I got some words for you. I got some critiques. I got some constructive criticism. You're not making the point that you think you were making. Oh no, don't open Premiere Pro. Chat, no! Oh no! Wait, I think I should be able to shut this down before it happens. Yes, did that work? Oh, chat. Oh no, come on. No, please. I don't need to edit any videos. Right, there we go. Yeah, so just crazy stuff.
I hope that you will wake up and understand that you're on the wrong side of history. You know children
No
always
one
tell the
thinks
truth.
that.
And I hope that you...
What are you talking? What are you talking? What kind of... Right, so again, this is a script that Zionists, Hasbara, have given this kid to say. So what are they thinking in writing this line? You know children always tell the truth. When I was a child, I took a shit in my friend's garden. And then when my gran was like, why did you take a shit in your friend's garden? I said, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? Children tell the truth. What are you on about? What are you talking about? Kids famously always telling the truth. Literally, who wasn't a compulsive liar as a child? What do you mean? What do you mean, man?
always tell the truth.
What are you
and
on
I hope that
about?
you will see that. Am Israel Chai.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Israel using children for their propaganda there. We got some pal action stuff, but I'll come back to that at the end of this segment. So we also have the nations of the world that are supporting Israel doing things like this. The UK intelligence sent out a D-notice censorship order to all media after it was revealed that the SAS had deployed to Cyprus for Gaza operations in 2023. What have they been doing for the past 20 months? ICC and ICJ must investigate. The UK sent a spy plane to Gaza from Akrotiri, which is something we covered last week on the stream, while the Madeleine was on the way. So the Madeleine, UK demarked ship. It's the UK's territory. And what they were doing instead was they sent a spy plane over to Gaza, and they're probably still sending SAS troops over there to do special forces operations. And I bet they're dying, to be honest, because the Al-Qassam brigades are absolutely killing it in terms of the defense of Gaza. We got some more information about the UK's complicity here as well. The UK sending over 1,000 ammo boxes. So a British firm sent over 1,000 ammo boxes to Israel. And I wonder if we could get some more info on this. So this is a pretty new, hot off the press story. The first thing parents do is lie to their children. So that's the first thing kids almost always learn to do. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't zoom in on this, by the way. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. So, a British company sent over 1,000 munitions containers to Israel amid the Gaza genocide, raising concerns about UK arms export controls. The information is contained within shipping documents reviewed exclusively by Declassified and The Ditch. The documents show how Permoid Industries... God, that's the most British name of a weapons manufacturer ever, isn't it? Permoid Industries, an engineering firm in Durham, has sent 16 shipments of storage containers weighing over 100 tons to Elbit Systems in Israel since October 2023. Permoid declined to comment but did not deny that the cases were designed to carry weapons. The website says the firm produces a wide range of ammunition containers which are suited for belted ammunition, cartridge, mortar, and shell munitions, including 155mm artillery shells. Those are the ones that absolutely the IOF is using to pummel the Gaza Strip, destroying homes and everything. So there you go. More and more examples of British complicity going on there. What else do we got? What's going on here? So as the Madeleine was approaching, Israel decided to put out some Hasbara that it thought was pretty smart and pretty clever.
If you wish to, the maritime zone of the coast of Gaza is closed to naval traffic as part of a legal naval blockade. If you wish to deliver humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip, you are able to do so through the port of Ashdod via the established channels and distribution centers.
Right. So, this is incredible stuff. It's incredible stuff that they're openly putting stuff out like this. Because what does this prove? Yeah? What does this prove? Yeah, it's not a legal blockade, by the way, the blockade of the humanitarian aid that Israel is currently enforcing around the Gaza Strip. This doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that the IOF gave them a fair warning in any way, because all that we're seeing here is literally the back of a person and some audio. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing the back of a person and some audio. I'm sorry, but that just doesn't prove anything at all. What they're also doing is calling it the selfie yacht. So completely taking any kind of actual agency that it has in terms of identifying what it does and what the point of it is, just taking that away from the flotilla and essentially boiling it down to, oh, look at these influencers trying to take advantage of this war, right? They're really trying so hard to pretend to care about Gazans at this point in time. That's what the entire Hasbara has changed to. It's now, oh my god, these poor Gazan civilians, don't worry, we're definitely looking after them, but they're also evil terrorists, and if Greta Thunberg ever went there, they'd get murdered immediately. Hey Emmy, how's it going? Welcome in. Chat, I don't know if anyone knows, but Emmy streams, and you should go and give her a follow. Because she's really cool and sound. Anyway, so yeah, we got this demented Hasbara going on. So let's see what exactly happened. What do we got here? So this was Richard Bergen, MP, one of the only British MPs to actually have said anything about the Gaza Freedom Flotilla ship. Says, I've contacted the Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, urging him to stop Israel from attacking the Gaza Freedom Flotilla ship. This humanitarian mission must be allowed safe passage to enter Gaza through Palestinian waters. Israel has no right to block or threaten it. Damn. The only good British MP, except for Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana, Claudia Webb, Diane Abbott. You know, there's a bunch of good. There's a bunch of good British MPs, but you know, in this scenario, one of the only good ones. So that's pretty good. What else do we got? John Luke Melanchon. This is mostly just like the response to it, being captured and stuff like that. Yeah, that's in there. Yeah, that's that. What else do we got? We got more info about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the actual assault on the Madeleine that happened. So last night, Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur for the occupied Palestinian territories, was in contact with the captain of the Madeleine and was giving us updates, essentially. So I don't know what time this was specifically. This was 20 to 1 in the morning last night. It was around the time of about 11:30 p.m. that the crew of the Madeleine started to report drones and other Israeli vehicles coming into contact with them. At one point, there were 5 Israeli speedboats circling the Madeleine. Now, the important thing to remember for the legality of this, we know that Israel doesn't care about the law, but in terms of the legality of this and the amount of eyes on this particular action, it would be an act of piracy to do anything to a ship in international waters. If it was an actual IOF dispatch from the Zionist entity Israel, it would be an act of war, essentially, on the UK for doing that. That's kind of the legality of it. Now, of course, the Zionist entity is not a stranger to committing acts of war against its allies, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they are their allies, aren't they? But they're always doing stuff like this. There was a US tanker that got destroyed and attacked by the IDF because it came a little bit too close to Gaza or something. I think it was in the 2000s. I can't quite remember, or maybe it was a bit earlier than that. But essentially, you've got just an act of piracy or an act of war against one of its allies here. So Francesca was giving us updates after the crew lost their phone signal. They were saying, I think they were speaking to Francesca via satellite phone. I think that's a thing. I might be wrong. But they obviously couldn't get 4G, 5G, whatever, any Wi-Fi. And people believe that this is because Israel was jamming their signal. We had Francesca Albanese saying, an update, 2 drones over the Madeleine. They say they are quadcopters, the dangerous ones. So quadcopters are the... Oh, sorry, yeah, I was thinking about the USS Liberty in 67. Thank you, Middle-earth Marxist. Yes, Israel famously attacked the USS Liberty because it's a crazy state and it doesn't give a fuck, and it's like, we'll just fucking murder anyone, we don't care, actually. Anyway, so 2 drones over the Madeleine. They say they are quadcopters, the dangerous ones. The team is taking cover. So these quadcopters are the same ones that are supposedly believed to be being produced in Bristol, in Filton, Elbit Systems factory in Filton in the UK. They mimic the sounds of women and children crying in the Gaza Strip to lure Palestinians out of safety and shoot them. That is what happens with these quadcopter drones. Like, you know, it's not it's not conspiracy stuff, this chat. These are things that Israel does to Palestinians. It's been reported for years, this kind of thing. So these quadcopter drones were heading over to the Madeleine, which is obviously terrifying for everyone on board. And here is some more updates. 12:40 a.m. UK time. The drones are pouring white paint on the boat. 12:51. The flotilla people remain in good spirits, but they stay undercover because of the 2 quadcopters flying over them. These machines are made to kill, not just to surveil. And there is some... here we go. Here's the footage of that was streamed from the Madeleine as it was happening.
It's chemical. Be careful. Okay, they're dropping chemicals on us. They're dropping chemicals on us. We don't know what it is. Look at this. Look at this. They are. Okay, everyone, take cover, please.
Take over, everyone. Take over and be careful, please. Look,
so
we've all practiced this. We knew this could happen.
They are not peaceful. This is not an interception. This is another war crime about to happen. This is another war crime about to happen against civilians. It's civilian. It's a trip of carrying nothing but humanitarian aid. So please keep your eyes on us. I will turn the camera so you can see what I mean. We don't know what this is. I don't know how to turn this camera around.
What is this, guys?
So here it is. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what this is. Guys, can we put this down? Can we put this down?
I don't think it's a good idea, yes.
Okay.
I don't think it's a good idea. Everyone. We know our positions. We just sound the alarm to everyone. We are in contact with our land team here. Stay calm. Get your passports. Everyone has a passport.
I don't have my passport.
Me neither. So, someone.
I'm going to distribute them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matisse. Okay, so they have someone in pain.
Sorry, come on. Okay, come on.
So you can see it clearly there. It stinks really, really bad.
I need to drive back with you.
We don't know what it is. And we're putting up the Palestine flag to protect us, literally. We are using the Palestine flag to protect us. This is what we are doing right now. We don't know what this paint is. I cannot tell you. It smells very
Let's go! But white paint.
Shit, guys. I'm so sorry that there's just so much happening right now. Do we have the grab bags?
Avoid to inhale this paint. Avoid to touch it.
Do we have masks, guys?
What is this? It's paint?
We don't have any masks, so I will cover my mouth. Okay, use your kafiyas. Use your kafiyas to.
Tego?
Oh my God, this is a Queen's water.
Yes, please, Baptiste.
This chemical.
Baptiste is going to distribute all of our passports right now. We put in a safe place, okay?
I need light. I need light, please.
Yes, Mark.
Okay, time check. Yes, please. Please. Okay, the IOF is contacting us right now. I'm filming it.
Right, please film this. You can. Some people put lights and others film. Nice. Passports. But they're not calling us. No, I just made a phone call.
Okay, we just thought that the IOF is making contact. Oh my God, it's burning my eyes. This thing. Is it burning your eyes? No.
Nice. Oh. Everywhere on the
Hey, Morrigan. Hey, Naptaker, how you doing?
My phone's about to die. I'm gonna come back to this live. Just, I need a second.
So that was one of the lives from one of the activists on the Madeleine, and you can see there that in this shot here, quite clearly, it looks like paint. It looks like it has the consistency of paint. Some people who've seen this footage, who have experience of altercations with the IOF, have said that this is one of two things, or one of three or four things. It is either a infrared marking fluid that essentially means that radar is going to be able to pick up the boat, but that doesn't make any sense really, because radar should be able to pick up a tiny boat like that. It makes more sense if it was going to be targeted by drones, actually, which is probably what they use it for. If you see a lot of the footage of people piloting drones and stuff, you know, they have that screen and it's like, you see it in black and white. It's generally speaking infrared, so it helps with targeting. So again, a threat, a literal threat that they were going to attack this ship in some kind of way. That person also said it could be an irritant that is commonly used to essentially spray down Palestinians if they're doing protests. It's very hard to get off your clothes. It's very hard to get off your body. If it gets into your lungs, it can make you really sick. It's a poison, essentially. The Zionist entity is not a stranger to using chemical weapons in any way. So that's what was happening. And of course, these other quadcopters, well, the quadcopters that are spraying this stuff could also have had guns. We just don't know. There's no footage of them, and it was probably incredibly hard to see them in the dark. Excuse me. The thing to remember is that if we take this out of context, and there were some people who joined the stream, actually, while this was playing, and we're probably thinking like, oh my God, what's going on here? This looks terrifying. If you take this out of context, this is terrifying. You're on a boat in the middle of the night. There is a random entity getting in touch with you over the phone, and then these robots start spraying a chemical all over the boat. Yeah? Out of context, it's terrifying. In context, it's even worse. Even if this ship did, like, again, take it out of context. Imagine the ship has no aid. Yeah? No aid for people in a war zone. It's just chilling out in the ocean or whatever. In context, it's more terrifying, yeah. In context, it's more terrifying because they know exactly what the IOF are doing. And they know exactly what kind of people the IOF are. They're coming into contact with fascists who just kill ultimately extremely discriminately, but anyone who supports Palestinians indiscriminately in that regard. So really terrifying stuff. And then after that, the next update that we had was that they had been rammed. This is according to the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. And they lost connection So they rammed the Madeleine and they boarded it. So let's check out this video. This is one of the cameras that is in the hold.
This is being very protected for us.
Guys, oh my god!
Yes, I'm going to take over. These boats are here. We've been intercepted.
Mobilisez-vous! Mobilisez-vous!
Go to your places. Ditch the phones. Ditch the phones. Ditch the phones. Yes. Phones in the water, please. Assume position, please, everyone. To the water. To the water.
So those noises, by the way, were reportedly noises that were being broadcast to them from the IOF.
My computer, I have just the computer. Give me the phone, give me the phone.
Yes, yes.
Give me the phone, give me the phone. Give me the phone.
Everyone, assume position. That's not a position at all. Rima cannot be here. Rima needs to take a seat. Assume your position. The position that we have before, please. Okay. Francesca, can you
Hey, Lotus Hammer, how are you doing? They are throwing their phones in the water because they likely had contacts in the Gaza Strip that they didn't want to incriminate. There were probably people in the Gaza Strip who were trying to facilitate their landing if the IOF would have allowed it, and they didn't want to get them in trouble.
We are being boarded right now. We're being intercepted right now.
Please, everyone, make sure that you make noise. If anything happens to us, this is yet another war crime. Added to the long list of war crimes that Israel has been committing.
We are being intercepted right now. We have way. Everyone here is safe. No one is wounded right now. Very important that you know, no one is wounded until the time they boarded our boat. Okay? Please raise the alarm.
We want you to take down all cellular immediately.
Okay. They're asking us to take
So that was an IOF soldier communicating to them in some way. Don't know where they are. Hey, Sorka.
Right now. If I can manage to throw it in the water, I have
Okay, everyone, phones need to go. Phones need to go, please. Toss it in the water. In the water. Only Francesca can stay.
Take this.
We are taking everything down. Guys, anything that is sensitive needs to go down.
That one is another phone there. You put the computer.
Yeah, this phone is Francesca Bonet.
Signal was gone. Lève-les-mains.
Call sign. Mike, Romeo, Alpha, Hotel,
Okay.
Je ferai des photos, je vous en
MMC number
Yes, don't shoot.
3 2 0 5 7 3
Okay,
6
everyone,
7.
the interception is being calm until now.
Mayday.
It's not
Selling vessel
escalating.
Barcarole.
It's okay.
Call sign Mike, Romeo, Alpha, Hotel, 8. MMC number 2320 5 7 7. Condition 1
So you can see there literally in the footage. Check it out, chat. Right? So you see the boat lurch to one side. That's the IOF ramming the boat.
320 5 7 7. Condition 1.
They're coming up on the left. You can see them. That's the boat right there with the IOF on.
Calm down, everyone.
There they are boarding.
Everything's gonna be alright. Calm down. Wait, hey.
And then audio's gone, and the video goes. So, there you go. Horror movie stuff. Absolutely terrifying. So that was the last kind of footage that we got. I think that this one activist kept hold of her phone, but you can see an IOF soldier in the back there. I think that or is it? Or is that just oh no, it's not. It's like a thing. Oh god, I really thought that was a soldier there. It's like one of them things that you tie up the rope on. What do you call it? I don't know. Anyway, she's like held her onto her phone until the last minute, but there's not really much else that you can see there. So Amnesty International put out a tweet. By forcibly intercepting and blocking the Madeleine, Israel has once again ignored its legal obligations towards civilians. What did I say just then? Did I say the right thing? Amnesty International has put out a thing. Is that what I said? What I meant to say was Amnesty International has put out a statement. By forcibly intercepting and blocking the Madeleine, Israel has once again ignored its legal obligations towards civilians in the occupied Gaza Strip. The crew were unarmed activists and human rights defenders on a humanitarian mission. They must be released immediately and unconditionally. They must also be protected from torture and other ill treatment. As the occupying power, Israel has an international obligation to ensure civilians in Gaza have sufficient and safe access to food, medicine, and other supplies indispensable to their survival. Instead, and as part of its calculated effort to inflict on Palestinians in Gaza conditions of life designed to bring about their physical destruction, it has consistently and deliberately impeded the provision of impartial humanitarian assistance for civilians in desperate need. During its voyage over the past few days, the Madeleine's mission emerged as a powerful symbol of solidarity with besieged, starved, and suffering Palestinians amid persistent international inaction. However, this very mission is also an indictment of the international community's failure to put an end to Israel's inhumane blockade. Activists would not have needed to risk their lives had Israel's allies translated their rhetoric into forceful action to allow aid into Gaza. States must act now or risk complicity in Israel's grave violations of Palestinians' rights. So, pretty standard, pretty normal stuff. It's genocide, yeah, 100%. So, in response, Rima Hassan, one of the activists who is a member of European Parliament, French member of European Parliament, have basically asked people to protest. I think this is an unrelated protest, but I've got some footage here of a protest. Here we go. So this is Jean-Luc Mélenchon. Let's see what he's saying. May this moment remain etched in the hearts of each of us. Through their courage, these women and men have done more in 24 hours against the genocide in Gaza than dozens of governments that stand by and do nothing. Glory to Rima, glory to Greta and the rest of the crew. On Saturday, let's gather for a great gathering of the French people in service of the Palestinians, as are the 160 gatherings across the country today. Glory to the struggle. Only the struggle keeps us alive and keeps us standing. So that's Jean-Luc Mélenchon in Paris today, I believe. I'm not sure how big the crowds are. You get kind of an idea of how big the crowds are from this video.
Des dizaines de gouvernements, des dizaines d'armées qui restent les deux pieds dans les mêmes chaussures à regarder ce qui se passe. Gloire à la lutte, gloire à Rima, gloire à Greta et aux 12. Samedi, je vous demande d'être tous là de nouveau. Samedi, pour un grand et immense rassemblement du peuple français au service des Palestiniens.
Rassemblement!
Aujourd'hui même, 160 regroupés.
Yes, Rob. How you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Rob, I hope you had a fantastic stream. Everybody, please go and show some love to the wonderful Rob Rousseau. Rob Rousseau, who I can't believe is going to be abandoning us, leaving us. It's not right. It's just not right. Rob, don't go. Love you so much. What is going on? What is going on? Yeah, welcome in, everybody. AMs, how are you doing? Kijiji Genie, welcome in. Risking Verse, good to see you. Who else do we got? We got Elon Stinks. He does. Yeah, he does. Who else do we got? Bonbon C3PO, what's going on? Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is DJ Muel. I'm a leftist political streamer. I'm also a content creator, do stuff on YouTube, do stuff on TikTok, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, generally anarchist, communist, activist, anti-fascist, all that kind of business, you know. Haven't seen you around since the Xanderhole vid. Yeah, well, I mean, that's on you really, isn't it? Because I've been here. So where have you been? That's the question. But yeah, welcome in, everyone. I hope that you had a great time at Rob's. If my heads have not been to see Rob before, please, 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 please go and show him some love. He's a great streamer, deserves all your love, all your support, and all your respect. Absolute legend. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate you. We're just covering the Freedom Flotilla stuff. So yeah, lock in, sit back, relax, lock the fuck in. And thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, so we were just taking a little look at the rassemblement of French protesters, union heads, people from the Front Nouveau Populaire. I can't remember which, what order the words go in. I'm not great with French grammar. All kinds of activists here just talking about how essentially the people on the Gaza Freedom Flotilla have done more than any government in Europe over the last year or so to help Gazans.
Des dizaines d'armées qui restent les deux pieds dans les mêmes chaussures.
So you get a good idea there of
gloire à la lutte, gloire
how
à
many
Rima,
Parisians
gloire à Greta
were there
et
to support.
Samedi, je vous demande d'être tous là de nouveau, samedi, pour un grand et immense rassemblement du peuple français au service des Palestiniens, comme le sont aujourd'hui même 160 regroupements dans tout le pays. Gloire à la lutte, seule la lutte fait vivre.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brother. Thank you so much for the YouTube sub as well. Appreciate that, whoever that was. Yeah, so there you go. Jean-Luc Mélenchon there, chatting in France. Also some other responses. This is a protest outside the Israeli embassy in Warsaw. One of the activists, I believe, was in Poland. So if you don't know Alexis Delumis, go and follow him. He's a Greek anarchist reporter. We had him on Red Planet. Incredible guy.
Palestine, hurrah, hurrah! Palestine, hurrah, hurrah!
So Palestine, hurrah, is Free Palestine in Arabic, basically.
Palestine, hurrah, hurrah! Palestine, hurrah, hurrah! Palestine, hurrah, hurrah! Palestine, hurrah, hurrah!
Yeah, the better Jean-Luc, non-lib Jean-Luc. That's right. Yeah. Intercepting people in international waters and taking them into custody is called kidnapping. Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah. Hey, Cryptid Juice, how you doing? Welcome in. So there you go. People outside Israeli embassy in Warsaw. So, an update on the abductees. Israel's defense minister orders military to screen video of October the 7th for detained activists. In a statement on X, Katz said he has instructed the military to screen a video documenting the Hamas-led October the 7th attack for the detained activists on their arrival at Israel's Ashdod port. He also repeated unfounded claims that Greta Thunberg, the Swedish activist with Madeleine, is anti-Semitic and supports Hamas. Important to remember, again, that Hamas is the municipal government of Gaza. That's all it's ever been. And the brigades, the army that led the October the 7th uprising, essentially, that's what it was. The Al-Qassam Brigades, which is a collection of various different militant groups within Gaza. So, you know, it's really important to remember, we have to be ruthless with this, folks. The messaging that Israel leads with is that Hamas, which is literally just a political party, the municipal government, is is doing all this terror stuff. They're the leaders of all this terror, you know, despite the intricacies and complexities of Gazan politics. Yeah, essentially it's torture. It's literally torture. Israel committed piracy and is now going to torture the people that it has abducted in its piracy. You know, it's going to be this, chat. It's literally going to be some of you who know already what I'm searching for are going to be like, yeah, I know what he's going to show us. I know what he's going to show us. It's going to be this shit. It's just going to be this. They are going to strap Greta Thunberg into the contraption and make her watch a fake video, which has probably got AI in it. Because, as we know, there is no evidence of sexual assault that happened on October the 7th. There is no evidence of babies being killed, except by Israel in the Hannibal Directive. And there's no evidence of most of the atrocities that they talk about. In the Al Jazeera documentary about October the 7th, we found out that the real number of Israeli civilians killed is somewhere in the 200 mark. It's somewhere in the 200s. The rest of the 1,000 people who were murdered that day were soldiers, literally viable targets under international law, and Israel murdered a bunch of its own civilians with the Hannibal doctrine, or directive. Yeah, the directive. You know what I mean. Doctrine, directive, yeah. Yeah. Some new people in the chat, how you doing? Well, not new, you've been here before. Comrade Social Distancing, how you doing? Welcome in. Kira V, hello. What could be on that video that we haven't already seen worse of from Gaza? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll force you to watch people die, many of whom were killed because of the Hannibal Directive, yeah. Joe 1, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah. I've seen beheaded babies, they're Palestinian babies. Yeah, we've all seen it since October the 7th, since Israel enacted its genocide, it scaled up its genocide into full flow. We've seen so many babies murdered, burned, torn apart, eviscerated, vaporized. This shit doesn't work anymore, and none of these people are going to be susceptible to that kind of propaganda or torture. They're just not. So I doubt that this is all they're going to do. I think they're going to torture him in different ways. And I think when Greta Thunberg gets out, I think that she's going to be like, yo, they did this. And all of the Israeli people everywhere are going to be like, no, they didn't. And she'll get threats from the Mossad. All that kind of business. Yeah, horrific stuff. What do we got here? What do we got? So, we got the Hasbro in full flow about this. Greta Thunberg is currently on her way to Israel, safe and in good spirits. And they've, taken the press team. The press team is out in full force with the IOF pirates. What we're going to do, is we're going to... You can see it happening. You can see it happening clear as day. What we're going to do, we're going to take a bunch of bread... Even though they've got food on the Madeleine, even though we know they've got food on the Madeleine, we are gonna take bread and water and give them to him. So you do that, and I'll get a nice picture of it, and we'll put it on the socials. Why do you think she's smiling like that? Because she knows exactly what is going on. You brought me some bread, which I'm not going to eat, because why would you eat anything given to you by an IOF terrorist? I've heard tales of the kind of shit that they do with food. Yeah, have some of this extra bread and water that isn't going to Palestinians. That's probably another reason why she's looking proper bemused here. Yeah? Anyway. So, full Hasbro mode, full propaganda mode, disgusting, sick, horrific shit. Hey Joe, how's it going? Good to see you. What else do we got? Yeah, so this is just the same stuff. This is the same stuff that we already had a look here. We got some more information from Jean-Luc Mélenchon. Press release from France Insoumise. Israel's interception of the Freedom Flotilla ship, illegal arrest of 12 humanitarians and peace activists, including French MEP Rima Hassan and Swedish activist Greta Thunberg. We express our deepest indignation following the interception last night by the Israeli authorities of the Freedom Flotilla ship carrying humanitarian aid for the civilian population of Gaza, which has been under a total blockade since March the 2nd, 2025. On board the ship were 12 humanitarians and peace activists engaged in a strictly civilian and non-violent mission. Among them were French MEP Rima Hassan and Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, both renowned figures for their commitment to human rights and international justice. This interception, carried out outside Israeli territorial waters, constitutes a flagrant violation of international law, including maritime law and humanitarian law. The arrest of the crew members and the seizure of aid intended for a population in immediate humanitarian distress are unacceptable. We call on states, the European Union, the United Nations, and the entire international community to strongly condemn this illegal arrest, demand the immediate and unconditional release of all crew members, pressure the Israeli authorities to allow unhindered passage of humanitarian aid to Gaza in accordance with international law. It is the duty of all nations committed to human rights to not remain silent in the face of these flagrant violations of international law committed by Israel. Solidarity is not a crime. Free the crew of the Freedom Flotilla. We salute the people who are holding a vigil at Place de la République tonight. This Monday, June the 9th, meet across France for mobilizations in support of the Freedom Flotilla for an end to the genocide in Gaza. In Paris at 6 p.m, Place de la République. There are a bunch of people, a bunch of protests all over Europe doing stuff, doing protests today. So if you are European, it might be a bit late for you now, but there might be one happening later in the week. There might be one happening on Saturday. There may be an emergency protest that is being organized for tomorrow, but I guarantee you something will be happening. Particularly if you're in the UK. I wonder if I can find this information. I think this is the Freedom Flotilla Coalition advice for people in the UK. Media and resources, media contacts, information, legal analysis, conditions, follow the flotilla, news, donate and help. I want to help. Freedom Flotilla to break the siege. Donate, volunteer, Instagram. I don't know exactly if this has been a communication by the Freedom Flotilla Coalition, but if you're in the UK, I have been advised by activists that I know, that I am friends with, that I trust, that you need to get involved and get in touch with the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, that you could do this whenever you want. You could give them a ring. Hang on a second. Hey, Morton Manama, how are you doing? Good to see you. Okay. So there it is, chat. If you're in the UK, please call. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell. How do I actually, like... There you go. If you're in the UK, call 0207 008 5000 and essentially say, I am really, really concerned about the crew of the Madeleine, which is a ship that was demarked as being part of the United Kingdom, as being demarked with the United Kingdom Union Jack, the British flag. Please, can you speak to the Israeli Foreign Office and make sure that they're safe? Basically that. Something along the lines of that. Give them a call. And ask them to follow up on it and say, take my details and I want you to update me on this, because they have to do that. All right? So that's your call to action if you're in the UK. If you're in any other country in the European Union, don't bother. They won't take any calls from anyone outside of the UK. So give that a go. They'll probably ask you for some information about, you know, where you live or something like that. So yeah, that's the call to action there. What else do we got? Wonder if there's anything else. Oh yeah, the Swedish PM has said Israel has no legal right to kidnap Greta Thunberg, which is crazy. It's crazy that he's actually said this. Oh wait, hang on a minute. What? Why would you do this? Chat, who is this? USSR state-affiliated media. This is just like a fucking troll account, isn't it? Oh, man. They actually really fucking got me there. But yeah, fair enough. Well, in that case, important to report... This is some weird poster. Well, look, important to report that actually the Swedish PM has said nothing, and no European leader has said anything about any of this. So there you go. So that's the update on the Madeleine. That's the update on what happened. And again, it's not the first freedom flotilla that Israel has essentially broken international humanitarian law in intercepting. It happened with the Conscience a couple of months ago. It's happened all the time over decades. Freedom flotillas have been a way of trying to break the siege on Gaza for decades, and you can check out a lot of the important history by going to freedomflotillacoalition.com. And if you want to help, you can go to I Want to Help. I'm going to put that in the chat so that you can go ahead and check that out. Well, I'm going to remind everybody about what Frank McGuinness said, the socialist, anti-Zionist lawyer who is standing up for a lot of pro-Palestinian activists in the UK at the moment. Zionist is the weakest it has ever been in terms of monetary support, military support, propaganda. And you may think, well, hang on a minute, they're still heavily militarized, they're still bombing, they're still doing stuff. In recent history, it is the weakest it has ever been. Now is not the time for us to be complacent. We have to push, we have to push, we have to push. If you are working for a company that is complicit in the genocide, stand up and say something, especially if you're in the UK. There's a growing number of lawyers who will represent you and defend you, because it is extremely easy to argue against the Zionist entity at this point. It's essentially like, right, okay, you know, what is this law that was signed in Israel in 2014? Oh, only Jewish people have the right to self-determination in Israel. Okay, well, that means it's an apartheid state. If you're Jewish, you get to have rights. If not, you don't. And that is the end of the argument. As soon as that is presented to anybody in any court of law, a jury is going to be like, oh, that is discriminatory. That is actually discriminatory. That is the facts. So, you know, what you're doing is you're taking action against an apartheid state, a racist state. You know, the court of the law is not always going to look after you, but we have to rely on a lot of different tactics in this fight, chat. So, yeah, don't forget. What else do we need to say? I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. Chat, don't forget, I could really do with some support at the moment. Oh, sorry. Hero V. Yeah, my bot is a little crap. Even if you are a regular in my chat, it will just kind of like ban you. Do you want to post that again so everyone can see it? What do we got there? YouTube. Do you know this channel? The Anti-Empire project from Justin Poder is pretty good stuff. Let's have a look. Yeah, you got. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy getting about. Yeah. All right. You think it's a good shout? I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe to that guy. Yes, Black Phillip, how are you doing? Good to see you. What's right isn't always what's legal. Yes, exactly. Okay. Chat, I could really do with your support right now. I am currently unemployed. I don't have a lot of money. The UK benefit system is really garbage. For those of you that don't know, I lost my job earlier in February because the company I was working for, Allianz, which we're going to look at in a minute, I found out was participating in the genocide in Gaza by insuring Elbit Systems, Israel's largest weapons manufacturer in Europe, and insuring the UK premises of Elbit Systems. And I also found out that a subsidiary of Allianz was investing in Elbit Systems. So I raised the alarm in my place of work, sent an email to everybody in the UK who works for Allianz. I already had a group chat of people that I knew who worked for Allianz that I was talking to about this, but because of the nature of remote work, it was very, very difficult to try and organize any kind of union-based response. And so because of that, I went on single-person strike in an effort to try and do something to try and make the leaders at Allianz to try and make the executives at Allianz talk to me in some way. It wasn't really well thought out. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit of a crap action, but I did it anyway. I think it was the right thing to do. Unfortunately, instead of meeting with me to discuss it, they just moved to remove me from my position. And I believe, I'm not certain, but I believe I'm on some kind of blacklist now for employment because I have never found it this hard in my entire life to find a job. I'm not saying that I'm forced to come back to streaming and I'm not enjoying it. I do enjoy streaming and I really like it, but I have actually come back to streaming because I need money. So yeah, if any and all donations, any and all subs support would be really, really appreciated. Please consider subbing off Twitch. You could do that by the link in the chat that's right there, sub off Twitch. You could also go to my link tree via the socials command in the chat. Head over there. You can join my Patreon. I would genuinely prefer people to join my Patreon because it means that I can get like a good idea of how much I'm going to get per month rather than trying to rely on, donations in the Twitch chat. Good on you for holding your ground, but they're such bastards. Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do, right? Like, if you find out that a company that you're working for is doing something like that, you have to say something. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're not doing anything, and it sucks. So yeah, I don't feel bad for doing it. I don't regret it. It sucked being extremely poor for like a long time, but I'm not in a super underprivileged position, in terms of like support from my family. Like, I've been able to like get some money from my family while I've been trying to figure out the benefit system and stuff like that. But that's not something that's going to last forever. Yeah, that's that essentially. So a way to do this in the union dimension is to point out that people may be held legally liable. Well, I said that to him. Look, the moral argument. Listen, here's what I did. I crafted an email over the course of 2 weeks. Yeah, I was crafting this email. I was like shaking at my desk when I was about to send this to everybody in the entire company in the UK. Yeah, in the email to the directors, I said, not only should we consider that there is a genocide happening, but also that the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for people who are complicit. I put that in there. I put that in the email. I also put in the email that we should think about Allianz's reputation, because I know that's how fucking corporate loser limp dicks feel about this kind of thing. What else did I put in there? I can't remember. It was so long ago. I think I tweeted about it. So you'll have to go and check out my Twitter and check out the tweet. But Pal Action retweeted it and low-key follows me now on Twitter. So I've been trying to get him to come on Red Planet. So keep an eye out for that soon, I guess. But we'll see. Anyway, please consider supporting me. Oh yeah, also go and check out my new YouTube video. It's pinned in the chat just above the top of the chat there. Also, I will put it in the chat for you. I'm not particularly a fan of. There you go. It's just a silly little video about Trump and Musk. Lost the job but gained a Pal Action follow. I mean, that's what counts, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, what really counts is solidarity with Palestinians. But I'm always trying to do that in any way that I possibly can. Yeah, go and check out my new video. It's in the chat right there. You can like, comment, subscribe, and that'll really help me out. Or you can also, whoa. There it is, chat. Let's see it. Let's see you.
Fuck the police.
That's right. Even your nice brother-in-law. Thank you so much, Steph, for the 1-3.
Vagina.
Rock, respect.
Followed by one of the best ones. Thank you so much, Catgirl Steph, for the 1312. Thank you so much, Black Phillip, for the 20 quids. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you subbing off Twitch. I really appreciate you supporting the stream. You've all
little bit to spare.
You've all listened to me.
And the fuzz.
You've all listened to me represent you. Do you remember Dirty Dan? Thank you so much, Johnny. I don't know how much that was, but I know that that alert comes from a lot. So thank you so much. I'll find out in a hot minute. Thank you so much, everybody, for donating. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a bit more of Palestine news to go through, but then we will have a look at some kind of funny stuff, and maybe we can enjoy a little bit of content together, you know? Maybe we can do that together, and that'll be fun for everybody involved. Johnny, thank you so much for the £67.50. Holy shit, thank you so much. Screw the fash and screw the fuzz. You are absolutely right. Thank you so much. I've crashed out on moral principle my whole life. You're doing it for the resistance. Got to show solidarity. Thank you, Black Phillip. Really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Anyway, let's get involved and check out some more stuff. Let's get through this, chat. Let's get through it together. Thank you so much for getting me to the halfway point. Almost. Another, what is that? 23 quid? And we'll be at £300 for the month, which is crazy for like the start of the month. It's technically a little bit left over from last month, but we don't have to. We could just pretend that that's not the case, chat. We could just pretend that it's ongoing, yeah. We could just pretend that it's ongoing, and then when we get to £600, we'll do a trash bingus like we used to. Do you remember? Do you remember when we did trash bingus together? Okay, so next up, speaking of Allianz. Pal Action hit Allianz today. Absolutely based. Super, super cool. We love Pal Action. Arrested for shutting down Allianz, insurers of the Israeli weapons firm, fueling the Gaza genocide. Can I get a fuck Allianz in the chat? Chat. So that's how you spell it. Allianz. Fuck Allianz. Fuck Allianz, you scumbags. You scummy worm shitbags. Holy shit. Big up Pal Action every day. Look at this absolute legend here. You know? Absolute legend. We're doing the real work. The real solidarity.
Pal Action makes us proud!
Hell yeah, let's go. This is the realness. Do you have any more information about this? I think, yeah. So again, another one. An actionist has been arrested while protesting at the UK Foreign Office in support of the 12 Madeleine crew members who were kidnapped by the Israeli military. Pal Action, stay winning. Sounds like there's a huge crowd outside there. Legend. Literally, what a legend. What an absolute legend. Legends stay winning, chat. Stay winning all the time, every day. That's how we do it. What else do we got to take a look at here? I want to get into the Netanyahu funding ISIS thing, because that shit's crazy. I don't know if this is related. I don't know if this is from today. This is a great account, by the way. Antifa Ultras. You should definitely follow. Even if it's not from today, I don't really care. This is a great video. Wait. There we go. The entire world knows, chat, Zionism is at its weakest point ever. Don't give up now. Completely the right time in history to do something. Oh, hey, Alejandro, how you doing? Sorry, I did see you earlier. I forgot to say hi, or might not have done. I don't know. I can't remember how to stream. I've only been streaming for like 3 weeks so far. I'm so glad fuck Israel has finally caught on. Twitch didn't like that. Yeah, well, fuck Twitch, you know? Wrong. Twitch are wrong. And that's the end of it. So we got more information about the Gaza humanitarian. What the fuck am I talking about? It is humiliating, isn't it? My brain was automatically like, yes, it's humiliating for every single person who has to try and get food from this, you know, from this person, from this fake organization, this literal terrorist organization. Israeli forces killed 14 more hungry Palestinians on their way to collect food at Gaza Humanitarian Foundation distribution points today. Among the dead was a woman, Hanan, who had been trying to feed her children and family. Eyewitnesses described scenes of chaos. Israeli quadcopters hovered overhead, tanks advanced, and soldiers opened fire on starving crowds. Like, it cannot be stressed enough. They are literally doing military operations on civilians, crowds of civilians, trying to kill as many as possible. The majority of the killings took place near the Rafah distribution site in Al-Mawasi, but a similar scene unfolded at the GFH site in central Gaza, where at least 31 others were wounded, most shot in the head, neck, or chest, indicating deliberate targeting. At the end of the day's distribution, Israeli forces fired tear gas at the survivors to drive them away. Earlier, Israel's foreign ministry posted a video showing Palestinian children carrying heavy GFH food boxes after walking miles to reach the distribution sites and surviving Israel's daily massacres along the way. The caption read, "Smiles don't lie." Literally disgusting. Literally disgusting. Video, Israeli forces unleash heavy gunfire on thousands of Palestinians attempting to reach the distribution center.
اطلق نار على المدنيين. الله اكبر. مش حركي لي بس بس ولا نرجع حق ما يرجع. كل اللي بتصير فينا عشان الطحين. يا الله. عشان كله.
Yeah, and important to remember, chat, there is no huge super 5D chess conspiracy going on. It is simply the most boring dystopia that you could possibly think of. They are literally taking trucks of not enough food. Like, look at this. So this propaganda here, it shows
Israel
a truck
is now facilitating record.
Oh my god, is that an AI voice as well?
Israel is now facilitating record levels of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Thousands of trucks.
So, it's not thousands of trucks.
Millions of
And we know that because it literally only showed one truck getting in.
Millions of
They got these huge boxes of food, yeah? But there's literally only like enough for maybe 100 people. Half a truck, hey, half a laptop. And they're just like, yeah, man, look how happy they all are.
Civilians, no middlemen.
You know, trying to say that this guy looks happy. This guy doesn't look happy, bro.
Needed fast. Direct aid to civilians, no middlemen, no cost, no shortage, no interruption. Just a steady, growing flow of life-saving aid.
Most of these guys are doing this, I guarantee, because the Zio propaganda hawks are literally like filming and going, act like you are happy, otherwise we will shoot you. This exact scenario was presented to us in a sci-fi novel on an alien planet. It would be framed as unambiguously horrifying. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Dang. Also, hi. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier as well. Hello.
And all of it, fully aligned with international humanitarian...
A lie! A lie!
Fully aligned with international humanitarian law.
Simply a lie. Simply a lie.
This is what real aid looks like.
No, it isn't.
Smiles don't lie.
Jesus Christ. I swear to God, man. Makes me so mad. Okay, so some interesting developments have been discovered about the death squads who are trying to kidnap. Well, I don't think they're kidnapping people. I imagine they probably have kidnapped people, but they are essentially shooting people and stealing aid, taking it away from Palestinians. It turns out that essentially they are ISIS death squads, as Zay Squirrel puts here, ISIS death and rape squads, and I don't doubt for a second that they're committing all kinds of atrocities. Roaming Gaza to ensure the mass starvation of babies continues. This is alongside running the same death squads in Sudan and elsewhere in Africa. The UAE is running vast propaganda operations for Israel. And Zay here is alleging that essentially they are funding, in part with the Israeli government, these death squads, these ISIS death squads in the Gaza Strip, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. There's a lot of interesting things that have come through recently about this. So in this graphic here, we've got this guy, political analyst from the UAE, passionate about youth and cultural affairs. Greta Thunberg's flotilla is not a humanitarian mission. It is a curated narrative device. In the age of perception warfare, activism is measured not by impact, but by optics. Gaza offers emotional theater and preloaded moral binaries. Sudan does not. Interesting, isn't it, that this political analyst from the UAE is running Hasbara for Israel. We've also got Ryan Grimm talking about an ISIS guy with a UAE license plate on. You can't quite see it here in this image, but I've seen this image, and he has a UAE license plate on this vehicle. Yasser Abu Shabab, leader of the Israeli-backed gang militia overseeing security in southern Gaza, has made his first public statement since Netanyahu admitted to supporting the group. Interesting. There's some other images here that I don't really think are quite helpful because you can't interact with them or see what's going on. But anyway, let's see what else we got here. Get the music back on. As part of the attempt to hide their genocidal Zionist propaganda behind an Arab face, the UAE also plays a key role as the handlers for the handful of token Palgasano Israeli government propaganda agents like Ihab Hassan and Ahmed Al-Khatib. If you don't know about Ahmed Al-Khatib, he's the guy that was recently on Jubilee. So a Palestinian guy, his entire family was killed by Israel, and now they pay him to go around and be like, yo, tell everybody that Israel and Zionism is good. These Palgasanos LARP as human rights lovers to better package their genocidal Zionist propaganda and try to feign distance between themselves and their Israeli owners, yet hilariously they do so via the Zionist genocidal UAE regime, which is a fascist dictatorship ruling over a slave society and operating vast networks of rape torture dungeons. One of the Ihab Hassan Israeli government propaganda account's main propaganda lines is freedom of speech for journalists in Gaza against Hamas, which he does for his Israeli UAE handlers that mass murder, torture, censor, and rape journalists without his Palgasano's subhuman cunt saying a single word about it as he gets money and visas and comfy New York penthouse suite from them. Remember, you know, Zay Squirrel is extremely passionate about the Palestinian cause, and he's gonna say stuff like this. You know, you could criticize it if you like. I'm not gonna disagree, but I think it's completely understandable, to be honest. One of the key people who runs all this for the genocidal Zionist UAE puppet regime is Youssef Al-Otaiba, a serial rapist who retains his position in Washington, D.C., where I'm sure all the Palgasano Israeli agents like Ihab Hassan are frequent guests. So the bald man sitting next to Trump is the longtime UAE ambassador to the US, Youssef Al-Otaiba, who was exposed as a serial rapist of trafficked women 8 years ago, but has kept his position because the UAE is second only to Israel in its death and rape called depravity. This is mental. What is this? Diplomatic Underground. Sordid double life of Washington's most powerful ambassador. Pick who you want, the men were told, and she would be theirs until noon the next day. God damn. Roman Paschal recalled about 7 women to choose from. They dropped their long cloaks, revealing nightclub clothes underneath. He picked a woman who turned out to be from Romania. Oh, damn. I wonder who was trafficking that woman who was going to be a sex slave to this extremely powerful ambassador from Romania, chat. Who would that be, I wonder? I don't think it's any any coincidence that Tate loves Israel. You know? So, wow. Absolutely mental. What else do we got here? No, that's the end of the thread. So there you go. What else do we got? So we got some more info from Dropsite News. An Israeli airstrike last night targeted a police unit in Nusrat Camp Gaza as it worked to safeguard citizens' property and pursue a group of thieves. According to a statement from the Ministry of Interior and National Security in Gaza, that's essentially the police, the attack killed a police officer, a service member, and a civilian passerby, and injured several others. The ministry condemned the crime and vowed that police forces would continue their duties despite repeated Israeli targeting. It accused the Israeli military of attempting to spread chaos and support looting by backing criminal gangs, and called on the international community to intervene to stop the killings of police personnel and Israel's ongoing blockade, which has crippled the distribution of humanitarian aid. Videos surfaced over the weekend showing an Israeli-backed criminal in southern Gaza, part of a gang armed and funded by Israel to oppose Hamas and sow chaos, flaunting new weapons while standing in front of a car with UAE license plates. So this is that car that we saw. So you can see at the bottom here, that in Arabic is an indicator of it being a UAE license plate, essentially. So yeah, some really cool and interesting stuff. And of course, Netanyahu has actually admitted this week to funding these ISIS horrific psycho-fascists, as Alexis de Loomis like to call him, literally someone who fought ISIS in the Syrian revolution. So, if you're wondering why David Lammy, the British Foreign Secretary, has yet to condemn Israel's illegal commandeering of the Madeleine, a boat sailing in international waters under the British flag, and kidnap of its unarmed crew, here are a few clues. David Lammy received $70,000 from Israel lobbyist 1 month into the Gaza genocide. Here he is speaking for the Labour Friends of Israel, guest of honor. And here he is speaking with, what's this guy's name? I can never forget this guy's name. Is this the foreign minister? Is it Israel Katz? Is that his name? I can't remember the guy's name. Something Katz. We spoke about him before. He said the thing about Greta Thunberg. We're going to force her to watch the October 7th video that no one else gets to see but torture victims. Anyway. It's time for us to enjoy a little bit of candy in relation to this chat. Yeah. We all know that the IOF are not actually good at fighting in real wars, which is why they were battered by Hezbollah. It's why they continue to be battered by Al-Qassam and Sarai al-Quds. And this is how they deal with a tire that was rolled down the street to them. They've got guns. These are soldiers. Here's how they deal with a tire that has been rolled down the street towards them. Oh yeah. Goodyear is Hamas. This is great. Look at the strats that they employ here. What is he throwing at it? What is that? It looks like he's throwing like a book at it. Like, what is that? What is he? What is he actually? This is so good. I could watch this. I could watch this all day. Like, dude, do you not understand physics? Mandy, oh my god!
Hashtag stream off Twitch.
Stream off Twitch! It's true, that's what I do! Oh my god, Mandy, thank you so much for the 40 quid. Holy shit, thank you so much for supporting the stream. Thank you so much for supporting me. I really, really appreciate you. No, don't worry, I know what you meant, Mandy. I know what you meant. So, hashtag sub off Twitch, that's right. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's really, really good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute, wanted to show my love. I cannot begin to tell you how much that means to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mandy. Thank you for the £40. Thank you for subbing off Twitch. Thank you for supporting. Absolute legend. Yeah, don't worry. We got some fun stuff to go through now. You know, a little bit of fun there with laughing at the IOF, unable to deal with a tire. We got some more stuff to go through now. Choose wisely. This is a bit of... We can watch this another day. That's a little bit sad and a little bit upsetting. More news there. More stuff about PAL action. More base stuff here. Palestine action surrounding the Bristol head office of Allianz. So this is more of the Allianz action. Fuck Allianz.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
By the way, this is
Free Palestine!
incredible stuff. You know, this is how simple it is, chat. Like a suitcase full of concrete or whatever, I don't know, and they just got their hand in there. That's how easy it is to be a pain, you know? I don't think anyone should ever do anything that breaks the law, by the way. You should never do that. But this looks pretty legal to me, not gonna lie. Anyway, also timing was great. I thought it would take me back to submit dono from the payment page. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Honestly. The alerts where you donate are designed to interrupt the stream. Don't worry about it. I can always go back and cover the thing that it interrupted. So don't worry. You're fine. You are fine. And I will willingly take your money. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Yeah. So three activists so far. 4 activists. We saw this this person before. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely incredible stuff. Awesome stuff. Free Palestine. You know the score. We're going to move on to the LA riots in a bit. LA protests, whatever you want to call them. But let's take a little bit. Oh, here's the tweet. Do you remember what I was saying earlier? That I was trying to find the tweet from this post, from this picture. Here it is. The savior here just landed in Tel Aviv. And I don't know what I don't know if this person is like trying to own the left or trying to own pro-Palestinian activists by saying, Grok, do American pedos often flee from America to Israel? But whether it's trying to do it or not, whether this person is trying to do that or not, Grok answers, some American pedophiles have fled to Israel, exploiting the law of return for automatic citizenship. Reports suggest over 60 cases since 2014, though the true number may be higher due to limited tracking. Extradition challenges persist, and while Israel has denied citizenship to some offenders, no comprehensive policy exists. Over 60 is a lot of pedos. That's a lot of pedos for the last 10 years. That's 6 pedos a year. Yeah? Look at the dates. Try harder, please. What? Just a lie. This doesn't exist in Israel. This is not the argument that you want to make, bro. This is not the argument you want to make. Hard to tell the tone of what people are attempting with this post, but it's very good. It's very, very good and fun. What do we got here? What do we got? There was some funny stuff that I wanted to look at. I think it's this one. I wanted to take a look at this Casey Neistat bullshit thing that's going on. Let's take a little look at this. Max made this fantastic music video using VEO 2 and 3, so that's AI, by the way. You know? Flutterby Dragon says, pedos are everywhere. It is definitely higher numbers, because if they have a good lawyer, they don't have to register. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, they could escape those charges and shit. Yeah. Max made this fantastic music video using VEO 2 and 3, so it's AI. I found it super interesting that it's an AI video that's not about AI. What are you talking about? He just happened to use AI instead of a camera. If you told me 2 years ago this was made only with AI, I wouldn't have believed you. Spelt believed wrong. This guy is a Zionist, by the way. He supports Israel. He does not support Palestine. Easily one of the worst people that you could ever see in your entire life. Slop tuber, influencer slop, nonsense, nightmare content. This is a music video that has been made by AI. So let's tear this to shreds, chat. Too loud, sorry. Give me a minute. Bring that right down. There you go. Is that loud enough? By the way, first thing that we see. You know what this is, don't you, chat? Yeah? You know what this is, don't you? This is a weather vane. And what do weather vanes normally have on them? They normally have north, east, southwest. This one has north, north, west, east. Yeah? So many chimneys, by the way, in this chimney. So many. Oh, look at the state of that! Look at the state of that! Chat, do you know what I'm on about? Look at the fucking state of that! Yo, look at this. Look at the size of that chimney. Look how many fucking chimneys are on that. What's going on there? More chimney than roof. How many fireplaces have you got in there? Jesus Christ. Right. We've got a bag. It's all apparently based in Britain. You can tell by the way the houses are sort of being shown to you. So I guess that's, you know, some kind of compliment to AI. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck is going on here? What is going on with that window, bro? What, just like impossible physics. Completely impossible physics. Looks like garbage. And the problem is like, no one's gonna, like, very soon, no one's gonna be able to spot these differences. The fascists all love AI because it's an incredibly easy way for them to propagandize. You know, the other thing, though, is Alejandro said this earlier in the chat, which is they despise anything human. Yeah, dog, I heard you like chimneys. We put chimneys on your chimneys, yeah. 6 different buildings in the outdoor shots there, yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Multi-floor hotbox. Insane knobs on that TV. Impossible pants. Impossible pants. What were they? Pants with one leg that's 2 legs. Impeccably folded. impeccably folded so much that they're stuck together. Oh, God. There is simply no railway that is like this close to a house or a road in this way. Well, maybe there is, but everyone looking pure normal here. Normal human stuff going on. Don't get me wrong though, there's boys in bands and kids who like Chat. So I've just realized I've just realized that this isn't like a new song. This is yeah, you all saw it, right? This is an Arctic Monkeys song that already exists. And so what's happening is these people who use AI are like, I've always wanted to make a music video for a song that already exists. But the band, the people who made the band, yeah, the actual band, the people who made the tune, didn't decide to make a music video for it. So why should you, bro? And also with AI. It's one thing making like a fan video or like a fan cam. I know people do that. Fine. Do that stuff if you want. But I always thought that stuff was a little bit cursed anyway. It's times a billion when you make one with AI. You know? You can tell they have poor taste, not just because of AI, but because they like the Arctic Monkeys. Oh! Thought it was quite telling that everyone in the AI generated was white other than one token black person. AI is so racist. I think this is supposed to be Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys on the screen there, yeah. Let's have a look at the captions here. All of that's what the point, the pont is no dom no aroomed there. So there you go, chat. You heard it here first, and you also heard it from the band. Arctic Monkeys. The song is A Certain Romance. I thought I recognized it, yeah. Oh, the VOD's gonna get punched on YouTube for this, but never mind. What is even happening? Oh yeah, he's looking real normal. That guy was looking so normal just then. This is looking normal. Lots of hands going on here. Lots of weird, funny hands. See, this is the thing. None of this, like... See, this is the thing about AI. All it can do at this point, which is good that this is all it can do. All it can do at this point is make short, like, protracted scenes. And there's no consistency in people exactly. There's no consistency in the different people in the different shots. There's no story that you're holding on to. It's like, what's happening? Like, who's the character? What's going on? You know? What's going on? I don't get it. In music videos, it's good to have B-roll. And these kinds of shots are like B-roll, right? Where it's just like stuff that's happening. Business and blocking. You got some people doing some stuff, but also just filming some stuff, right? Let's see what else we got here. This is the same shot. It's the same shot as before. It's the same one that he did before. Alex Turner. Arctic Monkeys. That's the guy, isn't it? That's the main guy. I hadn't seen this guy in like a long time. Right? So when I was when I was looking at this, I was like, it could be the Arctic Monkeys guy. It could be the Arctic Monkeys guy. No, it couldn't. No, it couldn't. No, it simply just couldn't, chat. It simply couldn't be the Arctic Monkeys guy, because look how different he looks. Look how different he looks to this mess. This absolute scrubulous mess. What are you on about? What are you on about? No AI can create anything which isn't artistically inferior to stock videos, yeah. Chat, this is madness. Okay, let's look at this shot. Let's look at this shot. So what you've got here is what appears to be normal perspective. It looks like these two are directly opposite each other. But then he walks forward, doesn't change his direction. Hold up. Doesn't change his direction whatsoever. And, like, kind of passes through her, but is behind her. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on there. It just looks bad. The fucked up balcony. Egg's not looking right either. Yeah, some normal physics going on there. Every single one of these is looking weird. What's going on with the trees? What the fuck just happened with the trees?
Well, over there, there's friends of mine. What can I say? I've known them for a long, long time. And yeah, they might overstep the line, but I just cannot get angry in the same way. Oh, not in the same way. Well, not in the same way. Oh.
What was that? What is that? It's like the same person 4 times. What's going on? You see, this is the thing. This is what AI can't get. No family looks like this. No friend group looks like this. No family looks like this. Coffin. What are the physics of this coffin? What? Who is hugging who, doing what? What is happening? Literal accident at the clone factory. What is going on? Oh my goodness. Just some crazy stuff going on here. Literally, like, I'm not losing my mind, right? Like, Clone 1, Clone 2, Clone 3. They are all the same person. That's the same person. Most bored and inbred funeral I've seen. Yeah. Yeah, the lid, like, what it, like, closes here, like, kudumph. What? Dude. I actually thought that these were real photos for, like, a minute. Oh, man. Look at these. Look at what's going on here. Oh, that kiss looks so odd. That's looking weird. That's looking odd. Just, all of it has this uncanny valley feeling to it, which makes it look crap. Like, no actual emotion. That's not how an egg cracks in real life. That's not how things work. None of that is how things work. That looks really bad. All of this is bad. I want to see that coffin. Did it get the coffin right? Did it get the coffin right this time? So they got like ill dad, and then like, oh, again. It can't get coffins right. And it always has to put like 2 people who look super the same. AI convinced me of the existence of the human soul by showing me art without it. Exactly. Exactly. Like, why is it a baby coffin? Why is it this? Why did this man turn into like a baby man? His legs are not looking right. Can't do coffins. It can't do coffins. Look at this text here as well. Picture of George Washington in the back here. Oh yeah, look at that Siggy, chat. Look at that Siggy. Check what happens with that Siggy there. Nonsense. Ethereal Sig. Doesn't look real. Like, you know, the emotion on these two laughing is just like, it just doesn't look right. There's just something about it that doesn't look right, and there's only, that's why you can only have like three frames of it. Yeah? Because if you have any more than 3 frames, idiots like Casey Neistat even will be able to see that it looks terrible. Whoa, that was, what was that one? What was even going on there? Yeah, go on, try and do this with a slower song and a slower video. Like, see, as soon as the shots slow down, they just look so bad and weird. Yeah, nah, rubbish. Absolute garbage. A completely unbroken guitar with, like, a broken bit here. Uh-huh. But no. No. No, this video was not by Max Joseph. This video was by a bunch, 1,000 other artists who are far more talented, who will never get the credit that they deserve, and probably don't want that credit because of this garbage shit. Yeah, AI, stay losing the entire time, stay ruining people's lives, just some of the worst stuff of all time. Alright, chat, let's crack on. Let's talk about what happened in LA this week. So, if you don't know, a bunch of ICE raids happened in the USA over the last week, which had increasing amounts of resistance from the community in opposition to them. One of the first examples of this was in Minneapolis last week. I was checking this out on Rhizome's stream. I think this was Wednesday after my stream, and essentially a community in Minneapolis, I think it's called Bloomington, heard about this ICE raid that was happening via Reddit, and they all came out and protested. And, you know, these state thugs were essentially a different mix, a whole amalgamation of FBI, Proud Boys, County Sheriff Department, and ICE. And all in the mix of those 3-letter acronym organizations, there were probably Proud Boys and racists and fascists as well, because we all know every single one of them are cops. ACABs. ACAB, yeah? But the interesting thing is that these are super militarized police, and they did not know how to respond to the pushback that they got in Minneapolis. So then the situation in LA happened, where basically ICE went into a clothing store, I think, or a clothing manufacturing store. A factory, that's what that's called. A manufacturing store, a manufacturing factory. It's a factory. And they locked the doors and tried to deport the people who were inside, tried to arrest them. And then the entire community kicked off. LA has got a rich history of resistance. It's got a rich history of pushing back and protest. You had the Rodney King uprisings back in the day in the 90s. You had the Battle of Los Angeles, which I think was at a similar time. It might have been the same thing, I don't know. But there's been loads and loads of examples of that. The thing about California is that California is a sanctuary state, which means that federal government should not be able to intervene in people's immigration status in that state. So Gavin Newsom, the governor, has essentially pushed back Donald Trump and ICE recently, but in a really crap liberal way, because of course they're all liberals. It doesn't matter if they're a Democrat. So anyway, over the weekend, there have been multiple protests against ICE and LAPD and pretty much any kind of cop, any kind of state fascist oppression. And there have been a bunch of really, really good tactics on display. A variety of tactics, a variety of stuff. And it's been really, really interesting to see. US Marines have been mobilized already, which I'm sure Gavin will pretty much cave on despite all of his posturing. It's probably likely. You know, look, there could be things being set in motion here which could lead to some really horrific stuff. Because we've seen the ineffectiveness of the LAPD in the protests yesterday. So we're going to see that. The community in LA is super radicalized and super mobilized at the moment and are, I think, planning protests every day until the repression stops. And the demands are pretty simple. No more ICE raids, disband ICE, no more threats of National Guard stuff. Essentially saying, you know, we don't want that kind of federal intervention going on in our sanctuary state, in our city. And that kind of direct action works because we've seen, where do we got here? Where was it? The tweet that says direct action works. I'm not going to find it, am I? Because I just can't, I can never find tweets that I want to find as I'm doing stuff. Oh, God. So annoying, dude. I literally had it right there. Okay, never mind. I'll find it soon. I'll find it at some point. Anyway. If it turns into a massacre, and hopefully it won't, but if it does, that's pretty much it. People won't take that lying down. Yeah, that's right, PM Triox, and welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow there, whoever that was, by the way. Well, I don't have the tweet there, but that's fine. But let's check out a little bit of riot porn. And I'm not diminishing just how horrible things are for people in these protests and police brutality and stuff like that, but that is essentially what this kind of content is. If it's just like footage of the riot, it's riot porn. That's what we're doing. We're watching it. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. No worries, PM.
Back up! Back up! You can't touch you when you put your hands up! Fuck you guys!
So here we go. We got the LAPD literally being kettled by the protesters here. They're surrounded.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Don't you love to see it, chat? Don't you love to see fear in a cop's eyes? Isn't it fun? Isn't it good? LAPD getting pushed back and kettled by the crowd. Bit more of this here. We have breaking news now from the Pentagon. CNN can now report that roughly 500 Marines are being mobilized in response to the protests in Los Angeles. Rules of engagement these Marines will have as they encounter protesters on the streets of Los Angeles are being finalized. So they're not actually in LA right now. They've been mobilized as in they're ready to go. Or they're stationed somewhere upstate.
Watch yourself, you fucking pig! That's what I fucking thought! That's what I fucking thought! Yeah! Yeah, fuck you! Fuck you!
You gotta love a bit of riot porn, chat. So, here's the thing, right? Let's do a little bit of analysis. Let's do a little bit of theory. It's what me, Sophie, and Tim always talk about on Red Planet pretty much every time we go live, yeah? There is only so much of this. There is only so much of this that cops will be able to handle mentally when they see so many people mobilized against them, yeah? And I'm not saying that they're going to turn coats and join the protesters. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Some of them might, you never know. Some of them might quit their jobs. This is a phenomenon that occurs. There are plenty of cops who realize just how bad they are by being a cop, and they go, damn, I shouldn't be a cop anymore, and I'm going to be a leftist, and I'm going to tell people how bad it is to be a cop. That dang dad, content creator on YouTube, I don't know if he streams or anything, also fellow bisexual man. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Yeah, you know, he's an ex-cop who essentially did that. But what I'm trying to say is that eventually there will be a malaise and a fatigue that hits these cops. There's only so much of this kind of resistance that they could deal with. And when they see that they're going to be complicit, if people do get murdered, if people do get shot, and let's face it, we know that the cops can shoot whoever they want and get away with it, but if this stuff is broadcast all over the news and people are seeing it all over the world, international condemnation could happen. Don't know how it's going to happen. That's why they're bringing in the Marines, exactly because the cops don't have the stamina. Correct. 500 Marines is an interesting number, by the way. So I wonder if there's a source that you can bring me for that, Steph. No, I've not been over the reporter that was shot. I've literally just got to the LA stuff now. Yeah, I'm gonna go through that in a second as well. But yeah, remember, chat, that, you know, if there is a consistent push against capitalism, against the system, against the state, there is only so much that the class traitor class, the class of class traitors, can withstand in terms of psychic damage. They won't be able to live with themselves attacking people for any amount of time. If you think about the worst example of this, the worst example of fascists that we have right now are people in the IOF. Yeah? There are regularly reports of IOF soldiers who leave the forces. They can't sleep at night. They're literally haunted by the souls of dead Palestinian babies. They cannot sleep. They end up committing suicide. Yeah? I know someone, one of the first people that ever bullied me was a Zionist who went to serve in the IOF, and when he came back, he was so absolutely haunted by all the horrific atrocities that he saw his comrades do, that he probably committed himself. He committed suicide. And I've gotten in trouble in the past before in my group of friends because they all knew him, saying, well, you know, I don't think there's any other way that he could have gone, to be honest, and I don't really feel sorry for him whatsoever. And people have been mad at me for saying that, but I stand by it. I think that anyone who engages in that kind of a thing is irredeemable, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know how you can rehabilitate a person like that, you know? But that's just an example. We see this all the time, you know? One of the most misunderstood things about the Holocaust is so much of the killing machinery was put in place to solve the problem that people just couldn't do mass murder. It's another reason why, exactly, Pathogen, welcome to the stream, by the way, it's another reason why Israel uses long-distance stuff. It bombs Gaza from airstrikes, drones. It's like a computer game. It's not real life. Same thing in Iraq. It's where drone warfare, predator drones were first being used. Boom, there you go. Right? That's it. If they genuinely felt guilt, they wouldn't do it in the first place. No, I'm talking about afterwards. We're talking about afterwards. This is a phenomenon. You know, it is a thing. It is a thing. This is what radicalization does to people. and killology as well, you know. Check out killology, the way that IOF soldiers are trained. And also the guy, what's his name? We were talking about it on Red Planet last night, me and Sophie. Andrew Grossman, he's literally a gross man. Call of Duty helps with that as well. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You ready with the link? Oh, thank you, Steph. Yeah, let's see it. There's your permit. Hey, Carpe, how you doing? Everybody, please go and show... Oh, it's Dave Grossman, not Andrew Grossman. Excuse me. Please go follow Carpe Packs, everyone. Another incredible leftist content creator. I hope you're doing well, friend. Okay, so it's 700 Marines. This is interesting. 700 Marines. What is this? Chat, what the fuck is that? What is this big fucking banner? Right, well, anyway, chat's not allowed to see this. Sorry about that. You'll be able to see it probably on the YouTube channel when I make a segment about this. About 700 Marines being mobilized in response to LA protests, sources tell CNN. More than 700 Marines based... Oh, can I zoom in now? Oh, great. Okay. More than 700 Marines based out of the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in California have been mobilized to respond to the protests in Los Angeles, according to 3 people familiar with the matter, and will join the thousands of National Guard troops who were activated by President Donald Trump over the weekend without the consent of California's governor or LA's mayor. So that is supplementing the National Guard, and apparently it's thousands. 3 people familiar with the matter. So who is that? U.S. Northern Command said Sunday 500 Marines. Okay, so that's Northern Command. All right. 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines. One of the people familiar with the Marine mobilization said they'll be augmenting the Guard presence on the ground in LA. Over 2,000 members of the California National Guard have been activated by the president, but only 300 have been deployed on the streets of LA so far. I mean, I was in Marcus's stream, Struggle 4, earlier today. Used to be Left Flank Vets. And I was asking him, like, what he thinks in terms of what resistance there'll be to this. He said he doesn't know, generally speaking. But it's very, very likely, because he said, I think he said he was in the National Guard when he was in the army and the military. And I think that he said that he was just on base for a lot of the time. And the only time he would ever be put on high alert is if there was a tornado or a hurricane. And it was like, right, well, just get some beers in because you're going to be alone for like a long time. You won't be able to go outside. And these National Guards have been put on high alert. And they're not going to be used to this kind of thing. And it's likely that a lot of them will just be like, I'm not going. And there's not really a lot that can happen. As a result of that, you could probably get kicked out of the military. I don't think you could be court-martialed for it, but who knows in Trump's America? Anything could happen, I guess. Only about 300 have been deployed to the streets of LA so far. Those initial 300 were on a routine National Guard drill weekend when they were mobilized, which is why they were able to arrive so quickly. The person familiar said it can take up to 72 hours for the other guardsmen to be mobilized. The Marines are expected to bolster some of the Guard members who've been deployed to LA in the last 2 days, this person said. Thank you for the follow. While this person familiar stressed that Marines were being deployed only to augment the forces already there, the image of US Marines mobilizing inside the United States will stand in contrast to National Guardsmen who more routinely respond to domestic issues. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. The US Marines is a step up. You know? I could see refusals being taken personally. Yeah, me too. One US official said Marines have not been mobilized within the US like they are in California now since the 1992 riots in Los Angeles. Was that the Rodney King riots? While the Marines' tasks have not been specified publicly, they could include assignments like crowd control or establishing perimeter security. Lawyers within the Defense Department are also finalizing language around the use of force guidelines for the troops to be mobilized. But the person familiar said it will likely mirror the military standing rules of the use of force. Here's the thing, chat. Here's the thing. If the Marines decide to shoot protesters in LA, there will be some people who shoot back. That is almost a guarantee. Yeah? And I'm not saying that people should do that, but you've got to ask yourself where all the Second Amendment losers are amongst all this. Are you going to resist a tyranny like you say you do? Are you down to resist tyranny? Are you down to support resisting tyranny? Oh, not now? Oh, okay. You only want to resist tyranny when everything's woke and DEI. Right, okay, where you don't actually have to shoot anyone. You don't actually have to engage in active combat against the state. Got you. Got you. Yeah. How did Marines handle policing Baghdad? Baghdad is a pretty easy answer for all of this. Yeah, they'll act like cops. They'll end up beating the shit out of people. They'll end up arresting people, putting them under military arrest or whatever. I think there is going to be blood. Genuinely, I think someone is going to die. I think people are going to die, and I don't say that with any glee. But it's Trump's fascist America, and all along, the Democrats in the run up to this election, the liberal fucking loser mouthpieces were saying things like, "Damn, it's damage mitigation. No, just like don't vote for this guy, or don't not vote for Kamala or whatever." And it is literally because as long as the genocide, as long as this stuff is happening in Gaza where they don't have to see it, then they can stay at brunch. But now they have to see it in real life, and they don't like that. They're still not going to do anything. They're still not going to join the protests or join the resistance or anything like that. They're just going to be really annoyed that they can't go to brunch. And it sucks, you know? This is how America, responds when the imperial boomerang finally comes round. So if anyone who is listening is going to take part in protests or anything like that, please be careful. Please cover your face. Please wear a helmet. Please wear goggles. Please wear a mask. Extremely important. I know that the president has said that masks are illegal. That's fucking stupid. You know? I did see what Kamala Harris said about the protests, and it's fucked. Here's an idea. Fuck you, Kamala Harris. Saying, "Oh, these ICE deportations are really bad, and there should be due process." Under the Biden administration, they surpassed the deportations that happened under Trump's 2016 to 2020 term. Don't ever let the Democrats make you think that they would not do the same, if not worse. Don't ever make them think that they wouldn't do this if they got back into office, because they would. 1,000%. Did she cackle laugh in the tweet? Yeah. She did, for real. Kamala proving to be exactly one performative step to the left of Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, for real. So anyway, here's some other funny stuff. We got Fox News being kicked out of the protests in LA. Look at the state of this reporter. Who is this? Does anyone know who this is? She's going like, okay. Yeah, you can't, what do you expect? Extremely funny that they're cowards. Who would have thought that Fox News reporters and the Fox media team were cowards? Who would have thought that? Look at this guy. Is he like a bodyguard? Is he doing ocular pat downs on everyone? Looks like Judith Miller. You're probably wrong. I don't know these Fox News pundits, so I don't know. Extremely funny that they're scared and getting bullied away. Yeah, get the fuck out of here! Is it okay if we go to our car? Yeah, that's what we want! That's what we want! Yeah, leave! Oh, that's so good, chat. This is some really good stuff. Here's some really cute stuff, and I have to say, as someone who really believes in the revolutionary power of art and love, and not just being boring and militant all the time, I think that this is really cute. People just doing a little line dance. More of this. Yeah, more of this stuff. Yeah, I love it. It's great. This is exactly what we want to see. So we got Wesley Hunt here. I don't know who this is. Father, husband, Army veteran, West Point graduate, congressman for Texas. I imagine, well, whatever. He's going to be a Republican, but, you know. Let this image sear into your soul. Yeah, I will. Because it's, like, really, really good. You know what I mean? This is so good. Welcome to the Left Summer of Love, Part 2. What do they mean, Part 2, by the way? What does he mean by that? What's he saying there? This pick goes so hard. That's right, Oak. Welcome to the chat. How you doing? This pick is so good. I swear to God. What else do we got? So yeah, the protesters on Sunday decided to set fire to some Waymos. I had no idea what Waymos were. I thought they were like a kind of a trolley or something. But these are those like horrific AI taxis in LA that literally no one likes. Yeah. So we had a bunch of these seen getting set on fire. Paced, no one was hurt. Extremely funny. Let's go. The pearl clutching is annoying but so satisfying at the same time. Yeah, for real. Oh yeah, fuck Waymos. The cops have been requesting surveillance footage from their cameras. The cops are going to be requesting footage from everybody. From everybody. All over the place. This is the thing. They'll just be like, can someone identify this guy? Can someone identify that guy? Can someone identify this guy? This is why it's so important to wear a mask if you go to a protest. It doesn't matter. This is incredibly funny, by the way. You know, in a repeat of the George Floyd uprisings, or maybe it was earlier this year. I don't know. I think it happened. Oh, that's part of the reason that Waymos are getting messed up, because the cops request surveillance footage from the Waymo cameras. Right, I get it. Sorry, I thought that you were just sort of like making a moot point. Sorry. I understand why you said that now. Thanks, Pathogen. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Makes absolute sense. So this is a repeat from the George Floyd uprisings, or like something that happened a couple of years ago. I can't remember. Where essentially a cop turned round and pepper sprayed another cop because they're just so bad at their jobs. And here is a cop rinsing his eyes with water because that happened. The live news streams were so weird about the fires, as expected. Spent a good 40 minutes zooming in on the fire, getting all the angles. Yeah, it's really good stuff. This is a great this is a great graphic here. The original Peppa Pig and Peppa Pig the sequel. There you go. Good stuff. All right. What's next? Yeah, more footage of the Waymos. I think we've seen all of that. No, that's the same footage that we got already. Yeah, Hassan here saying fascism is colonialism turned inwards. That's essentially what's happening. We've got the Imperial Boomerang happening out here. Active duty Marines to be mobilized if violence continues in Los Angeles area. So this was earlier today.
I know, I don't really know how to react to this as a professional, because it's sort of like, what? I'm not laughing. It's like active duty Marines for this. I mean, we were just reporting on it. There's music, the traffic is moving. Most people in LA probably don't even know that this is going on. It's such a big city. And we need an administration that's not going to get to DEFCON 1 every time they see something on TV they don't like. Secretary Hegseth has a tremendous amount of power.
It's that IDF training, yeah, the killology stuff, yeah.
With what we're seeing, active military is a statement, but let's just put it this way. It's not an operational statement. This is not a statement about what's on the ground. This is a statement about power and the use of force and the use of military in a democracy.
So here's the thing, chat. Recently, Trump has been exposed to be a weak loser. He hates being a weak loser, right? He had to make a deal with Yemen because he couldn't do anything about the Houthis. His aides were like, listen, man, if you want to be saving money, if you want to loot this empire, you're going to have to make peace with the Houthis because we've been trying to bomb them for decades. It doesn't work. I spoke about this in my recent video. And, you know, in terms of fascism, pretty weak. To just be like, oh yeah, these people that we think are like horrible terrorists, we're just going to like negotiate with them and come to a deal. And we're not actually going to protect Israel in that deal as well. We're going to like allow them to make a gain in the negotiations. So he was proven to be weak in that sense. He's also proven to be a weak loser in him trying to make peace with Russia and Ukraine, whether that was his actual, I don't know, whether he actually wanted to do that, whether he actually wanted to strike a peace deal with Ukraine and Russia. Probably unlikely, but what we've seen as a result of that is Ukraine just go sicko mode and destroy any attempt at ceasefire talks by like bombing Russia in key strategic places, and Russia essentially responding by murdering a bunch of civilians, doing similar stuff. So, you know, bizarre negotiation strategy, but I guess if Trump rejected Zelensky and then said, no, I want to make peace, kind of makes sense that Zelensky would be like, yeah, fuck you, I guess I'm just gonna like have a go at Russia now. So yeah, he's been shown to be pretty ineffective with regards to that. He didn't really gain any kind of a ceasefire in Gaza either, with the IOF still committing its genocide in Gaza. Everyone's kind of seeing that. Everybody knows that the USA is connected to that. He's getting like a lot of pushback. He didn't, you know, win with like a massive landslide majority in 2024. And that's because basically the main reason that he got in is because people didn't want to vote for the Democrats. And he is doing this show of force. He is doing a show of force, yeah? To be like, no, you don't get to protest ICE, you don't get to do this. And also, he's getting reminded of the George Floyd uprisings, which happened at the end of his last term, and he was like, damn, I guess, you know, I'm going to have to concede on the fact that I can't do anything about this, and I'm just going to criticize Biden for not dealing with it properly. And I guess maybe regrets that he didn't do stuff like this. I mean, he did do stuff like this during the George Floyd uprisings, but not immediately, not in this same way. So I think that that's what it is. He's desperate to show that he's not weak. America is not in free fall. It's still got all this power and all this might. He's still going to make America great again. These are all woke DEI, scary invaders, white supremacist shit. And he wants to make a statement. He does want to make a statement. It's exactly as this person says. I don't know who this CNN pundit is, but she's right. He's making a statement, you know? I don't know if that's how she's analyzing it, but it makes sense to me in that regard. The last year, first term, first year, current term, it's poetic. Yeah, it is.
I'll let others debate that, but no rational person in my field in Homeland Security would see what we're seeing and think that we're even close to the kind of behavior that Secretary Hegseth is now threatening against a civilian society for protest and some unrest. I'm going to give them that there is some unrest. And so, again, the White House is just lowering.
You need to think Trump as a mean girl to really understand that brain of his. No, he is. No, I agree.
What we call.
He's got the book. 1,000%. He's got the book writing down all the names of his enemies in it. 1,000%. I agree.
And now in the last 10 or 15 minutes, Secretary Hegseth, I guess, wanted to join the club. But active Marines, that's just unheard of in the kind of situation we've seen. And so
there you go. Yeah, completely unheard of. I think this is someone from the
this is a white supremacist thing. And black people, they doing the same thing what they did to us in slavery days. They separated our kids from our parents. And now they doing them the same way, nothing different. They still trying to be white supremacists. That's all I'm saying. That's why I came all the way from Calabasas, man. I was raised in Watt, but I live in Calabasas. I came way out here to let these white supremacists know we know they're not ISIS. They are the Proud Boys. Hey, the president said, stand down, stand by. This is their job. Proud Boy now got a job.
He's right. He's right.
That's all I'm saying. You got the head white supremacist in the White House running. The whole White House is white supremacist. The whole White House.
It's a big club. You're not in it.
Hey, what you always
It's a big club. You're not in it.
Don't be a grand
None
cracker.
of you motherfuckers.
Don't be a grand cracker.
Don't be a graham cracker.
It's a big club. You're not in it.
Don't be a grand
None
cracker.
of you motherfuckers.
Don't be a grand cracker. Be you. Fight for your freedom, man.
You guys aren't in the club.
These fuckers, they not your friend. I bet you don't go to their party.
That's right.
You're another nigga when you out in the street, ain't you? You another nigga out in the street. That just is.
Exactly.
Without that
Another
uniform, your head busted just like mine.
Yep. Yes,
It's
sir.
a Proud Boy, man.
Facts, homie.
This is not no damn. This is a gang bang Proud Boy. Gang bang. Trying to say stand down, stand by. That's their job. They call them ISIS. I call them punk, but they really Proud Boys. They chumps too. They pussies, man. They pussies.
Real.
And I'm with these people because I feel the same way they did in slavery. They took us from our parents. Now they taking them from their parents. Same goddamn thing, nothing different.
Unc knows what's up.
This is fuck, man.
Jinx.
Speak up, boy. Speak up, boy. No, don't disrespect me. No.
Yeah, spot on. 1,000%. I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, this is why everyone calls cops class traitors, because they are class traitors. They are not in the club of the ruling class. 1,000%. But they like to exercise the power that they're given by the ruling class against those that are in their own class. You know? And I know that a lot of people love to engage in this discourse like, cops get paid so much money, they get paid so much money. Yeah. But they don't get paid ruling class money. Come on. They're middle class, sure. But most of them start out working class. There's been some pretty crazy takes on Twitter. This one guy, I don't know why anyone goes to this guy for their political takes. Don't know why. But this is what he said. I admire the courage of people protesting the ICE raids in California. I'm against violent protests and I think they're counterproductive. I also think non-violent protests send a more powerful and enduring message. I've long believed in Dr. King's message about using non-violent resistance. What are you talking about? What you on about? I guarantee this guy is white. I guarantee he's a white guy. 1,000%. I'm not saying that black people can't get this wrong. I'm not saying that they can't get it wrong, but like, it's always white people in it who think that MLK was like, yeah, man, always use non-violent resistance all the time. He is white. Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah. The rare dye workwear L. Apparently, people go to this guy for his political takes. I've never heard of him in my entire life. Apparently, he just gives like advice about menswear. I don't know. You know, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, what Marv, like, you know, what everybody forgets. Yeah, what everyone forgets is that Martin Luther King always said all the time that you should just not do anything when fascism happens. Just never do anything. Don't do anything. What he also said, here we go. There are many ways to support immigrants beyond what is happening right now in the streets. You can volunteer with pro-immigrant organizations, offer material aid, this is true, or pursue a career in immigration law. Pursue a career in immigration law. Now, look, I'm not saying that this isn't a good idea, but do you know how long that takes? Do you know how long it takes to be a lawyer? Do you understand? It is crazy. It is crazy to say this. I share your anger, believe we could channel this energy into something that makes meaningful change for immigrants, but to do that, you have to stay safe. Right. Direct violence is happening right now. It's too late. It's too late for law school. Yeah, it's too late for law school. It's too late to try and save money to get into law school. What are you talking about? You know? And then this is the craziest one. If you're in a relationship with an undocumented immigrant, you can make a direct impact on their life by marrying them. This is it. This makes more of an impact than throwing bottles. Shut up, dude. Shut up, Derek Guy. Damn. Looks like I don't care about what Derek Guy says. So next up, we got some more stuff about the protests and the cops activity there. 9 News Australia. US correspondent Lauren Tomasi has been caught in the crossfire. Now, this is interesting. The wording here. US correspondent Lauren Tomasi has been caught in the crossfire as the LAPD fired rubber bullets at protesters in the heart of Los Angeles. Let's take a look at what happens here, chat. Yeah.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing at her, but like, let's take a look what happens. Caught in the crossfire, yeah? Caught in the crossfire. Now, luckily, this was caught on film, yeah? So you can see that this guy is looking directly at the camera. Directly at the camera. He aims his gun. He's actually shooting at the camera. He's actually shooting at the camera. And you can see the rest of the cops are facing the other way. And it hits her in the leg.
Shut the fuck up.
You okay?
I'm good.
These less lethals. Here we go. Readers added context they thought people should know. Laura Taylor was not caught in the crossfires. That implies she was a bystander. Instead, you could clearly see the cop aim at her and fire, making her the intended target. US correspondent Lauren Taylor shot with LAPD with a rubber bullet is a more accurate phrasing. Damn, dude. Damn. This is why I'm not super optimistic about the cops breaking. Some of them might, but you have IOF tier thugs distributed through their numbers. Okay, listen, when I talk about that stuff, I don't want you all to think that that's what we should rely on. Yeah? In history, it is a wide, varied, different variety of tactics that gets the goods. Yeah? And part of the thing that you have to take as hope, and it will happen, is that some cops will go, nah, ain't worth it. They will. As things get worse and worse, they will. It happened in the in the October Revolution in the USSR. Eventually, there were so many protesters, the cops and the military were like, nah, bro, we're not doing this anymore. Let's go kill the Tsar. It happened. It just happens. So, you know, I'm not saying that that's what we should rely on. I'm not saying that that's going to be the thing that happens, but it's certainly something that does happen. And I also agree, I don't think that it's something that we should rely on. I get, like, people not being super optimistic. But whether or not they're optimistic, karma will come from them for them at some point. It just will, whether it's later in their life, where they're haunted by the memories of what they did, because literally there is just no human that can live with themselves in that manner of being. It doesn't matter what kind of face they put on themselves. You know, they will be haunted for the rest of their lives. Anyway, what do we got here? ISIS causing so much damage. Yeah, we got that. That's the Waymo stuff. This is the LAPD using horses to trample a guy on the ground. You can see here. It'll take people on the ground to make something not nightmarish out of what's going to happen in LA. Yes, absolutely. 100%. 100%, 100%, 100%. So you can see here, activist on the ground, tries to get up, and then a horse goes directly over this activist and gets hit, and he gets hit on the head by a cop. Messed up. Guy then tries to get up, and then a cop comes in, grabs the backpack, pulls him down on the ground. Horrific. Horrific stuff. Okay. Think about all the conspiracy theories about LA being a demonic pedo cult haven. The guys they're importing from the Marines are going to be radicalized to fuck. Not true. Not true. Not true. Again, remember the main method of recruitment for military personnel in the United States. It's so you can go to college and it's so you can get healthcare. Not everybody is going to be radicalized in that way. Aaron Bushnell was not radicalized in that way. You know? Marines especially. Are Marines more likely? Is that what you're saying? Marines are more likely to go for the job because of that? It's the poverty draft, yeah. And criminals as well. Do you get like a pardon if you run for the, what do you call it? If you go for the military? I don't know. Right, okay. Trump's deployment of the military to crush the Los Angeles protests is part of an unfolding coup d'etat. Opposing it requires the mobilization of the entire working class in opposition to the Democrats. Yeah, I agree. 1,000%. Depends on the state, but usually, yeah. 1,000%. Ferguson 2014, Obama admin. Baltimore 2015, Obama admin. Minneapolis 2020, Trump admin. UCLA 2024, Biden admin. Don't ever let them think that they wouldn't do the same. Yeah? Don't ever let them think that they wouldn't do the same. This just happened like last year. The UCLA protests on campus in support of Palestinians. And they mobilized the cops to, you know, to attack peaceful protesters. Right? We've reached another moment of rupture. We have to seize it. 100%. Been seeing the K-Hive in full gear trying to say she'd be different. She wouldn't. She wouldn't be different. Cop Marla would not be in any way different. Just look at the opposition to the cops. Just look at them. There are so many of us. There are so many of us. There are always going to be more workers than there are state thugs because that's how capitalism has to operate. Let's see what the commander-in-chief has to say about all this.
Gavin Newsom is he's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows.
Sorry, but even in this, he's a horrific, horrible white supremacist fascist, but the way that he says stuff is so funny. It's like he's trained on how to deliver things in a comic style. I find it so hard. Like, do you think like Hitler was this funny? It's crazy. Like, it's like, is this what it's like? He's objectively funny. Like, the way that he says this about Gavin Newsom is just...
He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
I like Gavin Newsom. He's a great guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
What is he saying? What is he saying? What is he saying? He's on about like a what? Like a little bit of public transport he's doing or something? Anyway. Training for the Marines is a fairly indoctrinating environment. Yeah. I'm not arguing with you on that. Like, I agree entirely, yeah. There's still people, the training is designed to break them down. Yeah, 100%, yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that about Goebbels, yeah. Yeah. If you're ever under a horse, tuck your legs and cover your neck and head for dear life. I saw another lady get trampled till she was unconscious from yesterday. She was getting out of the way. They shot her to trip her and she'd got under it. It was really bad. Yeah, damn. It's bad. No need to apologize, Stalker. It's fine. Talking about high-speed rail projects in California that's littered with red tape. Right. Okay. All right. He's just chatting rubbish on a golf course, isn't he? So we've got Labour here explicitly calling for an end to ICE raids. So this is in response to when in the LA ICE raid that kicked off the protests in LA, the head of the SEIU ended up being arrested by ICE. He's called David Huerta. So on Friday afternoon, military gear-clad ICE agents launched aggressive raids throughout Los Angeles. At one location, SEIU USWW President David Huerta was assaulted, injured, and detained while advocating for immigrant workers. While he has been released from the hospital, he remains in federal custody. Since then, the Trump administration has only escalated its attacks on the Los Angeles community, deploying the military against our own people. This is a clear attack on our community's workers and our First Amendment rights. Demand that David Huerta be freed and ICE raids end immediately. Yeah, 1,000%. And this is something on Action Network. Let's take a look. Free David, end raids, day of action. So you can see here on Action Network. Action Network is actually a really good resource. I'm sorry that I've never promoted it before, but check it out. There are loads of events happening all over the USA that you can check out. So literally all on the West Coast, literally even in the Midwest. And loads on the East Coast as well. Go and support people. Stay safe. Take care. But yeah, there's the link in the chat. Really good that Labour is calling for an end to the raids. Another reason why it's so important is that, and this is going to be a little distressing, so content warning for people who may not want to see a woman getting assaulted here. I don't think she actually gets sexually assaulted here, but the implication here is that this woman was actually kidnapped and sexually assaulted. A woman got abducted and raped the other day by a man posing like these guys here. So it's not the implication that happened to this woman, but it is happening. I'm not going to play the video with sound because it's distressing, but look at these guys. Like, they aren't wearing any kind of identifying information. They're literally just bungling a woman into a vehicle, kidnapping her. Yeah, and this stuff is just going to keep happening. These are like horrific psycho-fascists who will do anything if they can get away with it. So, important to remember, we have to protect our communities. We have to look after each other. We can't allow these Gestapo fucks to get away with this. Here is what I was looking for. Direct action works. Okay, so this is from the city of Glendale. After careful consideration, the city of Glendale has decided to end its agreement with U.S. Homeland Security and ICE to house federal immigration detainees. This local decision reflects our core values: public safety, transparency, and community trust. So this is Glendale. City of Glendale, I believe, is like, where is that? That's like near LA, right? Glendale, City of Glendale, but it's in California, I know that much. Located primarily in the Verdugo Mountains region with a small portion in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles County, California. Yeah, so it's in Los Angeles County. It's out of the downtown LA area by like a good while. So it's kind of like a different city in the same county. But yeah, you know, direct action gets the goods. That's what we need to take away from this. These protests are actually doing something. So incredibly important. What else do we got here? Cops are the real criminals. A cop just robbed me. What the fuck? There was a police line I couldn't get past. I turn around and go to the opposite direction. Another cop stops me. He illegally searched me and stole 3 Red Bulls. Most cringe cop of all time.
Shutting down that street. Yeah, I know where I'm going. Dog shit. Horse shit. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to leave the area. That's blocked right there. Go that way? Okay, you want me to go where the cops already are and told me to leave? You guys got to make a decision. You want me to go that way or that way? Come on. What you got in your back right? I got my drinks. Why are you searching my stuff?
Because I don't know what you got in you. You either want to come this way?
Yes, I do. I was going that way. You stopped me. What's yours? Hey, make sure you zip everything up. You gonna take my drinks out of there and my stuff? Look at this guy. I'm gonna make a fucking fool of you, Jaime. What's your serial number? What's your serial number?
41161.
Yeah, all right. William Goof, film the police out.
They don't care. This is the thing. I'm not shitting on this guy. Like, you should always remind cops that they should be held accountable in an ideal world. But this guy is just he's reeling off his ID number and doesn't care, you know?
Well, I don't want to hear shit. Fuck you. They told me to leave this way. I go this way. Put my shit back in there.
I'm not going to get hit with these, bro.
What the fuck? You're taking my drinks? You gotta be fucking kidding me. No, I'm gonna write your ass up. I'm gonna have a good time with you, Jaime. 41161. This guy took my damn drinks out of my bag.
Cool. Just like illegally searching people, taking the drinks out of this guy's bag, just like literally mugging a person. Just mugging a person. You know? A lot of them file that down or black it out with tape as well. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So this was quite funny. This is Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, who basically is saying, if necessary, we'll mobilize. We don't want taxes on remittances from our fellow countrymen from the US to Mexico. So this head of state is openly calling for protests in the US, and it's unprecedented. I don't know Mexican, but I'm going to play it just in case anyone can translate and tell me if it's wrong or whatever.
Porque de ser necesario nos vamos a movilizar. Porque no queremos que haya impuestos a las remesas de nuestros paisanos, de Estados Unidos a México.
Sorry, Spanish, not Mexican.
Porque de ser
I don't know if that's what she said, but let me know. Give me a fact check on that one if you can, chat. I don't know if this happened earlier today or in the LA protests or even in California at all. But this was pretty funny, so I just thought I'd share that. Translation is accurate. Thanks, Alejandro.
Before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Apparently this guy absolutely slapped this cop.
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Yeah, incredible stuff. What else we got here? So this is sort of escalations today from ICE. So this is an immigration court in Chicago this morning. Per reporter inside who was told he can't use his phone. At least 3 people have been detained by ICE this morning after their hearings. 2 men and 1 woman. So what they're doing is they're going to
pick somebody up.
They are going to people's immigration hearings, where they are either going to get a decision or the judge is going to get some information and deliberate on it as to whether they can stay in the US or whether they have to go or whatever, or whatever decision is made. They are literally just picking people up after these hearings, not waiting for a decision.
DHS, ATF, DEA. You deputize or you actually ERO?
Say again. I'm coming through.
Yeah. They're moving fast. Overheard agents inside telling families that they are transporting people to the field office over at 101 Ida B. Wells before leaving the city. Roughly 20 to 25 minutes from the time people are detained inside and the vans emerge from the Adams side of the parking garage. So you can see that there. One of the men taken here was with his family. ICE agents grabbed him right in front of his two small children. The other man, ICE detained, was here by himself. How long before his friends and family even know where he disappeared to? Yeah, it's important to remember, chat, like, if you're unfamiliar with any of this stuff, they're not telling people where they are sending people. So they aren't just picking them up and taking them to the local county jail. They're taking them to what are ultimately concentration camps where they are not being processed. They're just being left there. People have to do research. They have to hound the organization. Lawyers who are doing great work have to hound the organizations again and again and again and again until they find out actually where they're being held. It's like Mahmoud Khalil, for example. He was being held in Louisiana, taken from Illinois. So this is like a few states over. And his family literally just had no idea where he was. Yeah, this is the same one. This is the same video that we saw today. So that's kind of my updates on the I'm going to show you this because this is just insane. That's kind of my updates on the LA riots, the LA protests this weekend. I guess we'll see more and more developments in this in the week. I'll update you on this on Wednesday. But we got my good friend Destiny here. I'm being sarcastic, obviously, saying, well, this isn't Destiny himself. This is one of his loser fucking DGG fucking fan psychos, saying Hassan is participating in the LA riots, which were declared illegal by the federal government. Here's what you could do. You could submit screenshots of him protesting against police orders to the FBI online tip line here or to the LA police here. It's finally time to get this terrorist arrested, right? It cannot be stated enough, chat. Yeah. This group of people, these debate bro, liberal, Gasano freaks are part of the state apparatus at this point. Yeah? Hot take, you shouldn't censor fascist usernames. Yeah, I've not done this, by the way. I haven't done that. That was this person here. Let's go. Blessed someone goes and stabs Hassan with a DGG knife, scheming. What the fuck, man? These chat logs, man. What is wrong with these fucking losers? Yeah. Yeah, and they'd love that, wouldn't they? They'd absolutely love that if they got Hassan deported or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at some other miscellaneous stuff. This should be a bit of a good read. So this is Jolyon Morm from the Good Law Project, and he's talking about the decision in the, quote, adult human female, unquote, case. Dr. D. O'Neill and Professor M. Wayne versus the University and College Union makes for pretty funny reading, and it would be a pity if we were to deny ourselves a rare moment of pleasure in these trying times. So let's take a look at this. The case is about whether Deirdre O'Neill, senior lecturer in film at the University of Hertfordshire, and Professor Michael Wayne, professor in media and film studies at Brunel, who together made the filmic dog whistle adult human female, were discriminated against or harassed by the union. So this is when they tried to show it at the University of Sheffield or University of Hertfordshire. I can't remember which one. And they got shut down by the union, essentially, and they got shut down by protesters who were rightfully stopping it from being a horrific propaganda exposure. A horrific exposure to propaganda, I should say, probably. The tribunal, it is fair to say, was underwhelmed by their expertise in the subject matter of the film. Professor Wayne, query because he was assigned male at birth, seems to have found it more difficult to admit his lack of expertise. Dr. O'Neill is a senior lecturer in film theory and practice at the University of Hertfordshire. She is accepted, so misgendering this guy. She is accepted in cross-examination that she is not a philosopher, she does not specialize in gender studies, and is not a scholar of feminist theory. She has been a member of the Respondent Union on something, on and off, for about 25 years, and continuously for the last 12 years. She does not teach at the University of... Oh, is it Edinburgh? Yeah, I think it's the University of Edinburgh where they tried to show this film. And is not a member of the branch. Professor Wayne is a professor... Oh, no, that was Deirdre O'Neill. So this is Professor Wayne. Okay, sorry, they didn't misgender her. All right, that was Deirdre O'Neill. Professor Wayne is a professor in media and film studies at Brunel University. He accepted he does not work on gender studies as a research area, but felt there was a line of continuity between some of his research in Marxist cultural theory. Where have we heard that before, chat? And the film. He has been a member of the Respondent for over 30 years and was a committee member for its Brunel University branch until stepping away in January 2025. He does not teach at University of Edinburgh, and neither is he a member of the branch. He holds the same Marxist and materialism views as Dr. O'Neill, and that includes what is now known as gender-critical beliefs. Wait, hang on a second. So these are Marxist materialists, but they hate trans women. You are joking me. Blue Sky's own Katie Montgomery explained why the film title was a dog whistle, and Tribunal was underwhelmed by Professor Wayne's apparent claim to not know this. Let's have a little look here. In Katie Montgomery's talk, referred to further below, she said, "It's using these things called dog whistles, or dog whistle politics, and it's basically where you say what, you don't say what you think. You don't say what you're trying to communicate directly. You come up with some other phrase which everyone who's on your side knows. They know what it means, and everyone who you're targeting knows what it means too. So for example, if you went into the toilet here and you saw a sticker that said sex matters on there, if you're a trans person, you would know that's a gender critical person who's gone in there and stuck it up to intimidate you. You know about it. If you're a gender critical person, you're like, oh, someone else has been here already. I know this. You know, I know what this phrase means. But most people will be like, sex matters. I guess I like having sex. I mean, I don't really care. They probably won't even clock what this means. And that's what these dog whistles are about. And the key things are this, is you always have plausible deniability. You can always back off when you think that it looks bad for you. And you can always frame your opponents as hyperbolic and hysterical. The tribunal does not find it credible that Dr. O'Neill would be unaware that some of the questions posed in the advert and the name of the film could be described as dog whistles in this way. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is getting eye-crossy with the terminology and titles. Yeah, sorry about that. That's probably me. And also, this is like legal legal minutes of trials. So that's always difficult. This is the one where they kept talking about Katie Montgomery in the trial, even though she's nothing to do with it. Yeah. That's right. But actually, she ended up being used as evidence against them, which is very, very funny. The claimants wrote an attempted gotcha letter to Dr. Joe Grady of the UCU, asking her to confirm that her transphobic views are not equivalent to noxious creeds that advocate hatred or genocide to others, but the admirable Dr. Grady refused to give that confirmation. The claimants wrote to Dr. Joe Grady, the General Secretary of the Respondent, on 28th of April, describing their attempt to screen the film and alleging the Respondent's thwarting of it. In that letter, they made the following requests of her. As head of the union, you have a responsibility to ensure that UCU policy and messaging is clear. We therefore ask you to confirm in writing to us that A, the union recognizes gender-critical views which some members hold are, in principle, legitimate expressions of belief. B, that they are not equivalent to noxious creeds that advocate hatred or genocide to others. This is such a funny wording. Noxious creeds. That members are expressing these beliefs in any format, written, verbally, or in any other medium, and for any purposes, should not be subject to attacks by other members that undermine their right to be treated equally as members of UCU. This is so stupid. Really cool if we got a practical legal precedent for dog whistles in hate crime would be pretty neat. Yeah, it would, yeah. Yeah. The CP, Communist Party of Great Britain. They might be in the Communist Party of Great Britain. They very well could be, yeah. Pretty turfy there, yeah. We would further ask that you specifically state, as evidence of A, B, and C above, that the UCU does not support the prevention of screenings of adult human female on university campuses or anywhere else in civic life. This would go some way to asking members to reevaluate their responses to our film and recognize that however much they might disagree with it, it constitutes speech that falls within acceptable parameters in a democratic society. We ask that we receive a reply within 28 days. If no reply or no satisfactory reply is forthcoming, we'll look to explore legal options. Dr. Grady replied on 26th of May. She acknowledged that gender-critical beliefs were protected under the Equality Act 2010, but refused to make other statements requested by the claimants or express any views on the branch's conduct. That's pretty funny. Oh, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. Noxious Creed should be a band name. Yeah, it really should. We got some more horrific turf nonsense here. So this is in response to the new Harry Potter IP that's coming out. We've got one of the actors who's in it here, Tom Felton, and he makes a statement when this journalist from Variety asks him about J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling? J.K. Rowling? I don't care. I literally don't care how she spells or pronounces her name.
How does the sort of Twitterverse controversy around J.K. Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact your work on the world at all?
No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it. The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. And she's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful.
First of all, chat, who is this Welk? Who is this Welk? I've not seen anything bring people back together more than Potter. I've not seen anything in the world bring together people more than Potter. Bro, I have had pisses at the urinal in a pub that have brought me closer to people than Harry Potter has. What are you talking about? Yeah, there's absolutely no way that this little fucker doesn't know what's going on. He played Malfoy. Oh, right, okay. He played the wizard Nazi kid in the movies. There you go. So he's returning to play Malfoy's dad in the show. Right. Gotcha. Yeah, also, fuck this journalist for referring to it as a Twitterverse controversy. It's the active dehumanization of people, of a marginalized, incredibly vulnerable group. Fuck Variety. Fuck Tom Felton. God, it is just like so wet and crap, isn't it? It's just so shit. But you know what he exposed here for us, chat, don't you? He exposed to us that Lenin was right, and all the communist thinkers, Marx was right, Ho Chi Minh was right, in that as soon as you are given money for something and you are in the ruling class, you're in the middle class, you're in the upper classes, your material conditions are inflated beyond you could even what any normal person could possibly imagine. You will just completely betray anyone else in the working class. He was like, "Oh, I've been able to travel all over the world. I'm here in New York. Yeah, it's great. She's giving me loads of money." I reckon she is probably paying him a lot of money, because they probably will have said, right, okay, if any of these people care about their reputations whatsoever, they probably said, right, what's the likelihood that I'm going to get hounded for this? Quite a lot. Okay, you got to give me a lot of money. He was that little shit in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. His only other prominent role was a guy on The Flash. That's what I mean. I've never heard of this guy ever before in my entire life. He was in Harry Potter for a total of 30 minutes and it's still his entire personality. How is that the case? It's crazy. I really hate the fact that Nick Frost is a part of this. Yeah, it's fucked. He was a cop in The Flash, can't stop playing bad guys. There you go. The one Harry Potter kid actor who hasn't abandoned her at this point. Yeah, well. Yeah. Is that what Nick Frost said? He disagrees with her, but he's still working on it. I mean, that's just shit. Again, you've crossed a picket line. We have to always bring this back to a material analysis. Trans people are easily the poorest people in the entire world. They have the least of stuff, overwhelmingly. And it's because their healthcare is constantly taken away from them. They are dehumanized. They are treated as a subhuman, degeneracy. And it's incredibly important to remember that that is how capital essentially creates this society where some people can essentially get away with behaving like this and blame all of their problems on the subclass. That I can't remember. There's a better term for it, but I can't remember what it is. It's like a slave class. Do you know what I mean? Like lots of trans people are sex workers. Lots of trans people are forced into doing things that they don't want to do for money. But you know what I'm trying to get at. That this is how it fucking works. Like then you get little fucking losers like this who are like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I got loads of money. And even Nick Frost, who could be like, I don't like working with J.K. Rowling, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I need the money. Lumber proletariat, is that what it is? I don't know. It's people who are the most marginalized in society. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Literally being apartheided, gender apartheid is happening against Untermensch. Is that what it is? Yeah. The underclass. That's it. The underclass. Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Hi, Butter Bebop. How you doing? Welcome in. Anyway, loser, scum, Tom Felton, I would say, normally, you'll be remembered for this, but he won't be remembered, will he? Because he probably won't get any more work after this. Anyway, that's that. Loser scumbag. Here's some crazy shit. Labour MP locks horns with gay nudist men in a heated battle over Suffolk Beach. Labour MP Jess Asato has joined a protest against alleged criminal sexual behaviour involving gay nudist men on a Suffolk beach. Chat, it's happening. It is no surprise, it is no surprise that during Pride Month, the TERFs are pushing the boundaries on who is an acceptable member of the queer community. And actually, what's happening now is no one is an acceptable member of the queer community. Member of Parliament for Lowestoft was elected last year, joined residents in a community beach walk to reclaim the beach after what she described as a spate of lewd behaviour. Right? So, again, we're going straight back to 1980. Yeah, where queer people are demonized. If any kind of cruising happens whatsoever, that's pedophile behavior, it's sex predator behavior. Trans people were the canary in the coal mine for this stuff. We've been saying it for ages, ever since the attacks on trans people started. This is exactly what it is. It was a wedge issue to divide the queer community, and now they're coming for anyone. They're just coming for anyone. Asato, a former staffer at a domestic abuse charity Safe Lives, said, as reported by the Daily Mail, residents are fed up with their beach being made a no-go area. Oh, wow, so we're using this kind of terminology now as well. This kind of terminology, a no-go area due to criminal sexual behaviour. Our walk was a symbol and their efforts to ensure that no one feels afraid to use it and send a signal that we will not tolerate what amounts to criminal acts. According to reporting by the Daily Mail, the incidents involve gay nudist men. Suffolk Police told Pink News, since a community meeting which officers attended in March, 2 reports have been made to police involving incidents that took place on Corton Beach. An incident of exposure was reported in May, while a man was reported to have carried out an indecent act while on the beach in April this year. Police have and continue to carry out patrols in the area and respond to any reports of crime. Officers would urge residents or visitors to report any crimes in progress or incidents they have witnessed so these can be investigated. There's not enough details, you know. There's not enough details about this for it to warrant such a response from a member of a member of parliament. Yeah. Suffolk Police told Pink News since a community meeting which officers attended in March, 2 reports have been made to police involving incidents that took place. Oh, I already read this. Continue to carry out patrols. Response to complaints from residents, the local authority has erected a sign. The sign reads, Corton Beach is not a naturist beach. Lewd behaviour will not be tolerated and may be recorded by CCTV and reported to the police. Causing an offence to others is a criminal offence and all causes will be reported for protection by order of Corton Parish Council. Council spokesperson said businesses overlooking the beach have also been severely impacted, reporting substantial financial losses directly attributed to these behaviours. Our stance remains unchanged. Right, I know what's happening here. I'm not going to say that people aren't getting naked and fucking on the beach. I'm not going to say that. I'm not even going to say that people aren't doing indecent exposure on purpose. It could happen. Absolutely. But if it's a cruising spot, which it appears to be, yeah, especially the Daily Mail saying gay nudist men, right? So whether it is actually queer men cruising or not, the fact that this is, you know, what's going on in the media, they're saying it's gay nudist men. This is an attack on queer people. Whether it's actually a proper, legitimate thing where people are saying like, oh my god, there's actually like so many sex pests, and they're all just like cis-het people. Let's just say that it is. The fact that it's being reported as gay nudist men, and there's not been any explicit sort of like, you know, effort made to say we are not doing this against queer people or the queer community in Corton. This kind of thing is, I feel like this is the start of something really bad. Genuinely. I think this is the start of things getting really bad for the entire queer community. And it's not going to stop. It's just not going to stop, because while capitalism is in free fall, you know, the entire fascist and ruling class are going to look for more minorities and more marginalized people to throw under the bus, to make it acceptable for them, to make everyone's life shit. And it'll just keep happening. And it sucks. So, I don't know. Sounds pretty bad, but let's keep an eye on it, you know? I remember somewhere that nudists are mostly men to begin with, but I have no idea what the number is for that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've got no idea whatsoever. You know, amongst all this, we've got a story here from GB News. Reform Council, how do I, like, get around this? Uses cookies, pay to reject. Oh, whatever, man. Fine. Take my data, you fascist fucks. Reform Council refuses to pay for Pride Parade. We're not going to spend taxpayers' money funding that. Yeah? So this is in response to this. £35,000 saved from Pride. Fucked up the hashtag there. Which will now be spent on housing repairs, potholes, and services for the disabled. This motherfucker really thinks that £35,000 is gonna be enough to solve all the housing repairs and potholes and services for the disabled in this particular council. Which council is this? Stafford Pride? You better believe 35 grand is not going to be enough for any of that. £1,700 will fund what exactly? It will barely cover the expenses claims of one of the reform clowns. Wait, so it's not £35,000? It's not even £35,000. He clarified that in 2024, 4 county councillors contributed £1,700 from their community funds to support the event, which met the council's criteria. With total costs exceeding £35,000, this represented a small fraction of the overall budget. You are joking, bro. He doesn't really believe that. He's cynically using the worn state of infrastructure to justify being a dick. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we can start a crypto farm, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, this motherfucker read the wrong number. Oh, loser shit, chat. Just loser shit. Listen, folks. It's been real fun, and I've been streaming for nearly 4 hours anyway, but I started pretty late today because of the health news that I got. It's nothing bad, don't worry. It's nothing huge and bad. It just freaked me out a little bit. I've been diagnosed with a fatty liver. It's the first time I've ever had, like, an actual, like, health condition that is kind of long-term. Like that, other than, I guess, long COVID. But long COVID's a bit weird. I don't know. So that sent me a little bit under. So, yeah, unfortunately, I did start a little bit late today. But I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it. We've covered a lot of stuff. Don't forget to check out all the other bits of content that I do. Get at me on the socials. I just did the wrong command in the chat. Thank you so much for all the donos today. It's been a day of huge donos. Literally like £130, £140 in donos. Chat, honestly, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the donos today. It's been really, really, really appreciative. Thanks for the subs on YouTube. Thank you for the follows over here. Thank you for the raids. It's been good, and I've really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. We're going to go raid someone now on Twitch, so don't go anywhere. And I'll be back on Wednesday to do some more streaming. Any plans for a trash bingus? I missed those. Hi, Confero. Yeah, because it's so much work to plan a trash bingus, and I'm not currently at the point where I'm like making my, you know, the similar amount of money that I used to make on Twitch. I'm doing it as like the dono incentive for this month. So if I get to £600 on the dono bar for this month, we'll do a trash bingus. So that's what it is, and that's basically how it's going to be going forward, because I got a lot of other stuff to do. I'm going to be focusing my content in like different places and different you know, in different ways. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But don't forget, you could always go back and check out the old trash binguses that we did over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. God, it's literally so many. Let's see if we can find someone who's covering the LA riots. Any kind of like live stuff that we can see. No. Everyone else doing politics. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Rhizome again, chat. I love Rhizome. Please come with me to Rhizome's stream. It's a great time. He's a great streamer. He's literally only just started as well, so we get to boost him at the start of the stream. Let's go ahead and help out and go and enjoy the content. If you like my content, you'll love Rhizome's content. He's a great guy. About to recommend the rye. You don't have to do that, because I'm already there. Yeah, thank you so much. Honestly, chat, it's great to see so many people in the chat again. Like, you know, I said at the start of the stream earlier today, it was great to see more and more people in the chat at the start of the stream. Really appreciated that. Please go and show some love to my new video on YouTube, because it's getting buried in the algorithm, because there's a lot of Trump and Musk slop out there, and I know that you would all prefer that my Trump and Musk slop gets rated higher than all the other stuff. So please consider going and liking, subscribing, commenting, all that kind of stuff. It helps me out in there as well. And don't forget to jump to the socials as well, because I got my new Twitch Clips channel in there as well. You can subscribe to that, and that'll be helpful for me as well, won't it? More eyes on me, etc, etc. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Really appreciate all the support. I'll see you on Wednesday. Mwah, peace. Good night.
Some say that ravens have the power to predict death. The great poet Marlowe wrote about them in the 16th century. Thus, like the sad presaging raven that tolls the sick man's passport in her hollow beak, and in the shadow of the silent night doth shake contagion from her sable